A year ago, I went from being a high and mighty heir of Mado City to practically eating dirt on the streets. Serena, a cold and powerful CEO, didn't care about my ruined past and took me in. By day, I was her flawless secretary, helping her manage her corporate empire. By night, I was her midnight companion, serving her every whim. I really thought I'd spend the rest of my life by her side like that. But then, he appeared. That was when I finally realized I was nothing more than a convenient tool. Watching them get all cozy and lovey-dovey day after day, I knew it was time to pack my bags. I stood before her, my expression perfectly calm. "Boss, here's my resignation letter." I placed the crisp resignation letter on the desk. The woman sitting across from me was as cold as a glacier. She looked up, her eyes dripping with mockery. Lucas, the new golden boy standing next to her, blinked his innocent doe eyes. "Vincent, please don't be like this. Did I cause some sort of misunderstanding between you and the boss?" Cue the Oscar-winning performance. This guy always knew the exact moment to play the innocent White Lotus to win Serena's favor. No wonder she kept him around and so happy. Serena's voice was ice. "Have you thought this through?" I nodded. "If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave." As I turned my back to leave, I caught a flash of smug triumph in Luca's eyes before he immediately hit it. "Boss, maybe you should explain things to Vincent?" Hearing this, Serena looked up at him. "Vincent is just a pet I keep around. Nothing more than a stray dog. And how could a dog ever bear to leave its master? Don't worry about him. Come here and massage my shoulders." Lucas practically wagged his invisible tail, hurrying behind her to carefully massage her shoulders, every movement screaming ulterior motives. Leaving the company, I drove back to the luxury villa I used to share with Serena. Looking at every corner of the house, memories flooded back. She rarely came home these past few months. It didn't take a genius to figure out she was spending her time with Lucas. Out with the old toy, in with the new. It was time for me to go. I only packed a few clothes and my tablet. I left everything else behind. Stepping out of the villa, I took one last look, then left without looking back again. The sun was shining brightly. That day the breeze was gentle. Perhaps thanks to the beautiful weather, my mood felt somewhat lighter. The moment I left the villa, Butler Charles called Serena. Mr. Vincent just came to the villa, packed his things, and left." Hearing this, Serena smirked, her face full of disdain. "Got it, he'll come crawling back in a few days." An hour later, I arrived at a high-end apartment in downtown Mado. I had been investing in stocks for a long time. Over the years, I had accumulated this apartment, 19 commercial storefronts, shares in several companies, and a casual $5 billion in my savings. Since I usually lived with Serena, even though this apartment had been renovated, I had never actually visited it. As the elevator doors opened and I stepped out, I unexpectedly bumped into a familiar face, Vivian Knight, the stunning chairman of the giant investment group in Mado. She and I were old rivals. We had clashed over a dozen times on the corporate battlefield, so we were quite familiar with each other. "Vincent?" Vivian looked at me, bewildered, then pointed at the apartment next to hers. "This is your place." I nodded, guilty as charged. Vivian let out a helpless laugh. "I forgot my keys. I told my secretary to fetch the spare from the office, but it'll take over an hour. If you don't mind, could I sit in your place for a bit?" Even though we were corporate enemies, we were now neighbors. But more importantly, I had resigned. I no longer had any conflict of interest with Vivian Knight. I let her in and poured her a glass of water. "Here you go, Miss Knight." Vivian took the glass, her eyes scanning me with a deep, calculating look. "Word on the street is you resigned from CEO Serena's place." I looked up, surprised. News travels fast. Vivian looked smug. "Of course, I always keep tabs on the man who defeated me so many times." I smiled. "So how many people are you keeping tabs on in that heart of yours?" She looked at me, her eyes sparkling brightly. "Right now, only you." For some reason, those words made the atmosphere feel a bit flirty. "I'm honored," I replied. "What about you, Vincent? Am I in your heart?" She shot back fearlessly. Before I could answer, my phone rang. Seeing the screen, I instantly hung up. "Looks like someone is trying to poach you," Vivian asked curiously. I nodded. "You could say that, but right now I just want to enjoy life, do things I like. Work is off the table for now." Vivian nodded in agreement. "This industry is chaotic, you're brilliant, but your soul is still clean. Leaving is good. So, what's the grand plan next?" I thought about it. Probably learn how to cook. Vivian's eyes lit up excitedly. "Perfect. I love eating. Do I get the privilege of tasting your culinary skills today?" "Why not?" I laughed. "Cooking for Miss Knight is my honor." At that exact same time, in a luxurious VIP club room in Mado, Serena sat in the center, surrounded by several glamorous girls. Chloe, a slightly chubby girl sitting next to her, asked thoughtlessly, "So Vincent really quit?" Hearing the name Vincent, Serena's face instantly darkened. "How do you know?" Chloe replied, "The whole circle knows. I heard CEO Wang already contacted him, offering an investment director position with a $50 million salary." Serena's grip tightened on her hands as if something belonging to her was being eyed by someone else. The whole room fell dead silent. Chloe continued, "But he rejected it, said he wanted to rest." Hearing that, Serena exhaled in relief. "He's just throwing a tantrum at me. He'll be back in a few days," she said confidently. "He's been tired lately. I gave him a few days off. He'll be back soon." Sophie, another girl, looked disappointed. "Really? What a pity. My dad wanted to invite him to our company, but I don't know anything about business and was planning to ask him to help me." Serena felt a bizarre sourness in her heart. She stood up. I'm going to the restroom for a bit. Saying that, she pushed the door and left the room. A few minutes later, while she was washing her hands, a voice rang out. Not going to call him? Serena turned around and saw Harper, her best friend. Why are you out here? Harper replied calmly. Still pretending? If you don't care, why were you staring at your phone the whole time in the room? If I remember correctly, this is the first time you've acted like this. He'll come back, Serena repeated, her tone certain. Harper sighed. I don't get why you let Lucas hurt him, even letting him end up in the ICU. But I know if he truly leaves, you'll collapse. As your best friend, I advise you to contact him, Serena scoffed. Harper, don't think I'm some warrior of love. He was just a boy toy. If he doesn't come back, I'm perfectly fine. Don't forget, as long as I want, I can have countless lovers. Harper turned to leave, then suddenly remembered something. Oh, my people, said Vivian Knight, and Vincent are neighbors now. Vivian just moved close to him. You should understand what her intentions are. In a supermarket in Motto, Vivian was pointing at groceries. Vincent, this, that, and this one too. It's so good. What do? I want to eat everything. Who would have thought Vivian Knight had such a childlike side? Looking at her, I couldn't help but smile. It's fine. Grab whatever you want to eat. I'll cook it for you. Vivian beamed radiantly. You're so capable. You can do anything. Then I'll help you wash the vegetable. In the kitchen, Vivian and I prepped food while chatting. Since you're not going to work for any company, what are you planning to do next? I thought for a moment. Rest for a while. Study cooking. If I get too bored, maybe I'll go work as a security guard. Vivian teased. With your looks, if you work as a security guard, the single girls in the complex will lose sleep. Before I could reply, my phone rang. Looking at the screen, I frowned. It was Butler Charles. I took a deep breath and answered. Hello, Charles. Mr. Vincent. The miss drank too much today and her stomach ulcer is acting up. Do you know where her stomach medication is? Right side of the master bedroom, third drawer down in the nightstand. Yes, Mr. Vincent, I found it. But the miss is very unwell right now. Could you please come over and take care of her for a bit? If this were in the past, no matter what it was, I would have agreed. But those days lying in the ICU made me think through too many things. I replied bluntly. Charles, there are so many maids in the house, I'm not coming over. Furthermore, I have resigned and have no further ties to CEO Serena. If possible, it's best not to contact me again. Right at that moment, Vivian suddenly spoke up loudly. Vincent, are you going to eat this? I paused for a second, but still answered, sure, just put it in my bowl. Then I turned back to Charles on the phone. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. After I hung up, Butler Charles stood in the living room, breaking out in a cold sweat. Miss, look at this! Serena sat on the sofa, her face as black as the bottom of a pot. Vivian Knight, that wretched woman, why are they together? Her fists clenched, her voice full of fury. Calling him Vincent so intimately? Charles, call Lucas here. Charles hurriedly made the call, carefully looking at Serena. Hello, Mr. Lucas. CEO Serena wants you to come over immediately. On my end, after dinner, I walked Vivian back to her place, then returned to my own room. Lying on my bed, I scrolled through my social media feed. Suddenly, a post from Lucas caught my attention. The content was simple. One sentence and a photo. Today was a perfect day, ending with a perfect full circle. The photo was of Lucas's hand wearing a ring. That ring was the exact one I had bought for Serena. Back then, she didn't want people in the company to know about our relationship, so she never wore it. Now it appeared as a silent declaration. I shook my head, telling myself to stop thinking about it. Let her walk her bright path and I'll walk my single log bridge. What I owed her was fully paid off when I nearly died in the ICU. At the same time, Serena was on the phone with Harper. If I remember correctly, that ring was the first gift Vincent ever gave you, right? And you just gave it straight to Lucas and let him publicly flaunt it like that? Harper's voice was full of shock. Serena sounded indifferent. It's just a ring, what's the big deal? If he likes it, he can take it. You, a sharp person in the business world, how can you be so blind now? Harper sighed and hung up, completely helpless. Hanging up the phone, Serena stepped out onto the balcony, looking down at the traffic and the brilliant city lights. This city is truly big, so big, that if one person doesn't take the initiative, two people might never meet again. It had been so long with no news, no meeting. Over the past 8 years, this was the first time. She pushed open her bedroom door, looking at the familiar room. She used to think it was nothing special, but looking at it now, it felt warm. Serena sat on the bed, staring at her phone. After hesitating for a moment, she finally dialed the number. Her voice was as cold as ever. Come over and take your trash away. Seeing the call from Serena, I was slightly surprised. Trash? I smirked. CEO Serena, those things have nothing to do with me. You can dispose of them however you like. Hearing this, Serena gripped her phone tightly. Vincent, haven't you thrown enough of a tantrum? CEO Serena, the trash isn't worth mentioning, just throw it away. As for the disposal fee, my salary for this month probably hasn't been paid yet. Consider it covered by that. Saying that, I hung up. The next morning as usual, I woke up early to jog. The morning park was quiet and fresh, with only a few elderly people exercising. Jogging helps me focus, forgetting work and life's troubles, allowing me to completely relax. Returning home, I bumped into Vivian, who had just woken up. What do you want to eat? I'll cook. 15 minutes later, 2 bowls of tomato egg noodles were placed on the table. Vivian suddenly said, Don't eat yet. Let me post this to my social media first. She took a picture of the 2 bowls of noodles, deliberately letting my fingers show in the frame. At the exact same time in the living room of the villa, Serena's face was unpredictably dark. Why is this dish so salty? The maids trembled, but in their hearts they knew clearly. It wasn't the food that was salty. The person cooking wasn't that person. No one dared to speak up. They all lowered their heads in silence. Miss, we will remake it immediately. Charles carefully suggested. Let's just eat it as is. Serena started to eat, then picked up her phone to scroll through her feed. Seeing Vivian's post, her expression suddenly changed. Even though the photo didn't show a face, she recognized those fingers immediately. Looking at the post time, 7:40 a.m. Serena clenched her fists. Were they together since last night? Thinking of this, she abruptly slammed her chopsticks down and left the villa. Vivian and I finished eating. She stood up, smiling. I'll wash the dishes. You worked hard today, I replied playfully. So how are you going to reward me? Vivian thought seriously. How about I pay you with my body? I burst out laughing. Good lord, if your company employees knew their stunning female CEO was following me around, their hearts would break. Then it's settled. I'll pay with my body, she said, blowing a flying kiss. Then hurriedly carried the bowls to the kitchen, as if afraid I'd change my mind. Watching Vivian's back, I unexpectedly felt a wave of insecurity. No matter how successful I became, my past as Serena's lover was still a shadow I couldn't erase, an identity that could never be made public. I walked to the kitchen door. Vivian, what's wrong? She turned to look at me. I know what you're thinking, but you know my past with Serena clearly. I don't think you need to treat me like this. A terrible guy like me. Vivian stopped what she was doing, her eyes turning gentle. Why do you think you're terrible for being a lover? Serena wasn't married. You weren't a third party ruining anyone's home. So you weren't a lover, but in a relationship. Looking at it that way, you are a very loyal person. Why call it terrible? You are the most wonderful man in this world. She stepped right in front of me. Next time, if you want to reject me, say we aren't compatible. Don't say you're a terrible guy. Understand? Looking at Vivian, her eyes were overflowing with sincerity, warming my heart. Thank you. This thank you came straight from my heart. She helped me realize one thing. I didn't need to feel inferior anymore. Silly? Vivian smiled. Since we've cleared it up, I'm not making excuses anymore. Starting today, I'm moving in to live with you. If I want to pursue you, we need time together, right? She looked at me with expectant eyes. I nodded. All right. Since I've decided to let go of the past, trying a new relationship isn't a bad thing. Today, Vivian had to go to work. She left a little after 8 a.m. I stayed home playing with her dog Pizan. Having a companion didn't feel bad. Right then, there was a knock on the door. Thinking Vivian forgot something, I opened it. But unexpectedly, the person standing there was Serena. CEO Serena? Why are you here? I was slightly stunned. Serena's eyes were so cold they made me uncomfortable. Why, am I not allowed to come? She sneered. Afraid I'll see something, like Vivian Knight? My heart tightened, my expression shifting slightly. CEO Serena, what are you saying? She mocked. Why did you resign? Turns out you found someone new. Got bored playing my boy toy for so long, now you're jumping over to be Vivian's boy toy. When you get bored of her, are you planning to find a rich 60-year-old grandma? I frowned, my voice cold. CEO Serena, that is enough, she smirked, looking at the dog Pizan next to me. Even keeping a dog here. Seems like you two are already living together. She pulled a bank card from her bag and threw it on the table. Here's 100 million, consider it your tip for this time. A surge of humiliation rose up like wild waves. I couldn't hold back and swung my hand, slapping her across the face. CEO Serena, you've gone too far. You did me a favor once, but over the past 8 years I dedicated myself to your company. The profit I brought you is at least $1 trillion. Furthermore, in the ICU, I almost died for you. The old debts I have paid in full. Now I just want a clean break, nothing to do with you anymore. Let's be decent and keep the last shred of dignity. Serena raised her hand to touch her slapped cheek, staring at me. Vincent, do you know? No one has ever dared to hit me. You are the first. Saying that, she turned and left. Watching her back, my heart felt heavy. I thought this relationship would end decently. I didn't expect it to become this ugly. Serena got into her car, her eyes as cold as ice. She pulled out her phone and texted her best friends group. Old place, my treat for drinks tonight at the VIP club. Serena drank glass after glass, as if wanting to drown her sorrows in alcohol. Harper frowned, stopping her. If you drink like this, you'll end up in the hospital. If something's wrong, don't torture yourself. It's fine, I know my limits, Serena replied faintly, continuing to drink. While playing with Pizan at home, I received a call from Harper. Vincent, Serena is drinking non-stop. If this continues, something bad will happen. Can you come? Her voice was full of worry. I paused, feeling a bit annoyed. Harper, Miss Serena and I have no relationship anymore. She can handle the Lucas situation herself. But for old time's sake, I advise you to call Lucas. He'll handle it well. Saying that, I hung up. In the VIP club, Serena's mood was getting worse. Harper looked at her and sighed. Drink up. Maybe after drinking you'll feel less sad. The friends watched Serena drink non-stop, all surprised. Seeing the red mark on her cheek, everyone guessed something definitely happened. Enough! Harper stood up, snatching the glass from her hand. Do you want to drink yourself to death? Her voice was full of blame. I just want to get drunk. What's wrong with that? Serena angrily glared at Harper. You should at least tell me what happened, Serena scoffed coldly. Vincent and Vivian are living together. Her voice was full of fury. It's ridiculous. A man who was my secretary, For years I elevated him to this position, gave him the life he has now, and now he's with my biggest enemy. Why? Why? Everyone was stunned. Vincent and Vivian living together. Impossible! Everyone looked at each other, not knowing what to say. Serena lowered her head, her voice hoarse. This slap! Vincent gave it to me, and I deserved it. I forgot he is a man with pride. She sighed, her eyes hazy, grabbing the bottle to chug. Now he probably sees me as the most hateful person. Right then, Serena's phone rang. It was Lucas, she answered, hearing his sobbing voice. Boss, I'm sorry, I caused a disaster. Before he could finish, he was already crying. What is it? Serena asked coldly. It's like this. I put a comma in the wrong place on the contract, then CEO Wang yelled at me. I argued back with him, Lucas said while sniffling. Hearing this, Serena's face was full of exhaustion. A comma error is a lack of competence. His mistake, yet he's crying. What's more, he dared to argue back with a client. Absolute stupidity. Serena took a deep breath, suppressing her anger, and said coldly, give the phone to the person next to you. Lucas handed the phone over, a smug smile returning to his face. Boss, CEO Wang on this end is very angry, feeling we don't respect them. The partnership might be cancelled. The voice on the other end said helplessly. Cancel it then, Serena replied indifferently. But this is a long-term partnership. We can't easily drop it like this. The person tried to persuade. Let it be. Cancel it. Serena hung up without hesitation. Lucas witnessed this, the smugness on his face even more apparent. When I heard the news, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Are they all crazy? Just because Lucas caused trouble, they cancel such a massive contract. But since I left the company, worrying about this is useless. Looking at the clock, it was almost noon. I texted Vivian. Coming home for lunch? Less than a minute later, she replied immediately. Heh, missing me already? If you miss me, just say it straight. I laughed, my mood feeling much lighter. So do you want me to miss you or not? Of course I want you to, Vivian replied bluntly. But today I'm missing someone too. I smiled, suddenly feeling happy. Then I'll just have to force myself to miss you a little bit. Give you another chance to say it. Say it nicely. Vivian sent an angry pouting emoji. Her mischievousness made me laugh. I miss you, I replied shortly. Hey, that's more like it, she quickly texted back. When I come home for lunch, make something delicious for me. Whatever you like, I replied. Okay, just make whatever then. On the other side, after hanging up the company phone, Serena continued drinking. Harper looked at her and sighed inwardly. I hope you won't regret this decision in the future, Serena. Right then, Serena's phone rang. Seeing the caller name, she frowned. It was her father, she answered, her voice softening. Yes, I know, then hung up immediately. What's wrong, Serena? Harper asked worriedly, seeing her expression. My dad told me to go home for a bit. The relationship between Serena and her father had always been tense. Her parents built the company together from nothing. But later, her mother chose to stay home to care for her, while her father had an affair outside. When it was exposed, her mother suffered a heart attack and died. Serena was only 14 then. Since then, she and her father were like fire and water, arguing every time they met. Should I go with you? Harper hesitated. No need. I can go alone, Serena said, leaving the VIP room. 3 hours later, she arrived at a villa in the suburbs, the house she lived in until she was 18. Every time she came here, she felt disgusted, especially with the memory of the day her mother died. Miss Serena, are you okay? The driver asked worriedly. I'm fine, Serena replied faintly, as if talking to herself. She entered the living room. Her father was sitting on the sofa. Even in his 50s, he still exuded an elegant aura. Why did you call me back? Serena sat down coldly. Drinking all day. What are you doing with yourself? Her father frowned. She shattered the awkward atmosphere. None of your business. If you have something to say, say it. If not, I'm leaving. What is going on between you and Vincent? Why did he resign? Her father went straight to the point. What else? He just didn't want to work anymore, Serena replied, her voice tinged with bitterness, her heart flashing with unwillingness. And what about Lucas? He's my lover, Serena said indifferently. Vincent was also my lover. Hearing this, her father jumped up in anger. Serena, are you crazy? Because of a lover, you let an important person leave? Giving up an opportunity to expand the company? Where is your spirit and decisiveness? Serena sneered coldly, her eyes full of contempt. What right do you have to criticize me? Do you have the right? My mother died because of your messy affairs. Even when she died, she couldn't close her eyes. So you have no right to criticize me. If there's nothing else, I'm leaving. Looking at her back as she left, her father sighed. I know as a father I was wrong. I don't expect your forgiveness. But Serena, Vincent was truly sincere with you. He was with you for years. You definitely have him in your heart too. Look clearly at your own feelings. Don't be like me, regretting it for a lifetime, he continued to advise. Let Lucas go. Bring Vincent back. Serena looked up at the gray sky. My business? Don't interfere. She spoke faintly, then left the villa. At the same time, Vivian and I were sitting at the dining table enjoying a simple lunch. Vivian ate with great relish. I couldn't help but tease. Looking at you eat like this, I really doubt, are you the wealthy Vivian Knight I know? You know what? I'm providing you with emotional value. Vivian laughed. Doesn't the internet say, praise your boyfriend a lot, and your boyfriend will do anything for you? I smiled, picking up a piece of sea cucumber. Then eat more. Thanks, Vivian smiled, taking the sea cucumber. Why aren't you eating? I didn't exercise much this morning, not very hungry. I thought you were going to say I'm as beautiful as the food. I laughed, my voice gentle. That's a reason too. So do you want to eat or not? Vivian teased, her tone mischievous. I nodded. I want to, and I'm ready. Vivian changed into a black dress that made her look even more alluring. She sent me a picture. I swallowed hard, my heart beating fast. Beautiful. I just replied with one word, along with 2 shy emojis. Seeing that, Vivian's cheeks flushed slightly. At the same time, in a high-end restaurant in Mado, Lucas was talking with a friend. Brother Chen, this stock is guaranteed to make money. They say if you invest 100 million, in a few days it'll become a billion. It's a chance to get rich. Lucas's eyes were full of greed. But I don't have the money. Easy. You're in a position below 1 person and above 10,000 at your company. Taking a little money is no problem. Make a profit, then secretly return it. Not even the gods will know. Hearing this, Lucas clenched his fists. All right, let's do it. I didn't know and didn't care about Lucas and Serena's affairs. Right now, Vivian and I were dining at another high-end restaurant. This place was full of the elite, surrounded by the laughter and chatter of high society. Not afraid I'll eat all your money? Vivian flipped the menu, shooting me a meaningful look. If I run out of money, you can support me, I replied casually. That's not a bad idea. Vivian froze for a second. Then her eyes lit up. What did you just say? Seeing her expression, clearly she heard it but pretended to be dumb. I just smiled and said nothing. No, you said it. Vivian's eyes went wide, smiling radiantly, leaning in close. Say it one more time. Big brother, I'm begging you. She acted cute, her voice soft. Not many men could resist a cold female CEO acting cute in front of them. I said, I'll support you, I replied. Vivian smiled like a cat that just stole a fish. Don't forget you said that. Putting the menu down, I looked around, the familiar space. Serena and I had been here a few times, but unlike now, back then I always had to wear a suit, sit up straight, because she demanded I maintain her dignity. Lost in thought, my leg was lightly touched by something. Looking down, I saw Vivian's long legs in black stockings gently rubbing against me. She looked at me, her eyes as seductive as silk. I silently marveled. This woman is truly a demon. Just now she was a cute kitten, now she's a mesmerizing fox. Nothing, just remembered some old things, I replied. Before I could finish, the restaurant doors opened. Serena and Harper walked in. I frowned slightly. Vivian noticed my change in mood and turned to look. Serena's face instantly went cold. Harper frowned. Serena, maybe we should change places. No need, Serena shook her head. If people can come here, we can too. She walked straight to our table. CEO Serena, what a coincidence to meet here. I put down my knife and fork, looking at her calmly. Indeed a coincidence, Serena sneered, her voice cold. She stared blankly at me. CEO Serena, is there something you need? Nothing, she replied, her voice distant. Just marveling that Ms. Knight's ability to seize opportunities is quite good. But it is a bit shameful. The atmosphere instantly became tense. Harper gently pulled her arm, signaling her to stop talking. But Serena didn't stop. Do you need me to yield my current position to you too? Vivian laughed coldly. You mean Lucas? No thanks. I am a loyal person. I only like the person I like. I only need Vincent. For my whole life I only need him. I should also thank you. If it wasn't for you, Vincent and I probably wouldn't have had a chance. Serena's face instantly became ugly. She stared at me, her voice deep. Are you two really together? All eyes were fixed on me. I raised the corner of my mouth, nodding slightly. You could say that. Vivian immediately beamed, her eyes full of triumph. Serena clenched her fists and after a while said, Good, very good, don't regret it. Regret? I smirked. Probably not. Serena gave me a deep look, then turned and walked to another table. Harper sighed and followed her. Why do you look so happy? I looked at Vivian, my voice teasing. Because you just admitted we are together. She smiled, her eyes sparkling. Silly, I shook my head, laughing. Eat up. Sitting at a distant table, Serena watched us laughing and talking happily, her heart full of bitterness. The gentleness I used to give only to her now belonged to someone else. I'm full. She stood up and left. Harper chased after her. Serena, you really love him, don't you? Serena paused, as if deep in thought. I don't know what love is. I just know right now my heart hurts very much. Leaving the restaurant, I naturally grabbed Vivian's bag, then held out my hand. She froze. As boyfriend and girlfriend, holding hands isn't too much, right? Vivian smiled gently, taking my hand. Her hand was cool but soft. A gentle breeze blew. She suddenly looked at me. Should we take a photo to make it public? I nodded. She held up her phone, taking a picture of our clasped hands. What should I write for the caption? She frowned. Use, I replied. Vivian froze, then smiled radiantly. Okay, let's go with that. After dinner, Vivian and I held hands strolling the streets of Mado. The night here was bright with neon lights. The laughter of young people echoed everywhere. Walking past a bar, lively music played. Young people were wildly enjoying themselves. Want to go in and play? Vivian looked at me, her eyes sparkling mischievously. I shook my head. No, I don't fit in there. She laughed. You're so young but you have the vibe of an old man. But that's okay, I like this exact vibe of yours. She hugged my arm. I thought you liked my looks, I teased. Vivian blushed. Narcissist. Who cares about looks? Really? I raised an eyebrow, teasing. She pretended to be mad, pouting, and ran ahead. I chased her. The two of us played on the street like kids. Soon I caught up to her. What's wrong? There was no one around. I leaned my face close to hers. Vivian stood on her tiptoes, kissing me lightly on the lips. In the distance, Serena stood in the shadows, watching us. A hint of sadness crossed her face, then she lowered her head and disappeared into the night. The next morning, Serena walked into the company. Lucas was already waiting there. Lucas smiled and approached. Boss? Serena nodded, her voice cold. What do you want? Lucas? He hesitated. Serena, can I move in with you at the villa? My current neighbors argue a lot. I'm a bit scared. Serena frowned. I will arrange another place for you. A flash of dissatisfaction appeared in Lucas's eyes, but he quickly hid it. Okay. He lowered his head, leaving with a bit of resentment. At home, Vivian clung to me like a child. Whenever she had time, she threw herself into my arms, holding me tight. I don't want to go to work, she pouted, leaning against my chest. Well, if you don't go to work, who will support me? I teased, kissing her forehead lightly. Ah, now I understand why ancient kings were so obsessed with beauty. Vivian looked at me, her eyes sparkling with infatuation. Go to work. I'll pick you up at noon, okay? I smiled and suggested. Really? Vivian's eyes lit up. That's so great, I nodded. Then when the time comes, I want 3 kisses. No, 5 French kisses. She winked mischievously, smiling wickedly. Deal, I laughed and agreed. Vivian happily left. I sat on the sofa, turned on the TV, intending to watch a movie. Not long after, my phone rang. It was Mr. Liu, Serena's father. I answered immediately. Hello, Mr. Liu. Boss Liu. Vincent, are you free lately? Mr. Liu's gentle voice rang out. Yes, sir. Is there something you need? Nothing much. Just wanted to chat about you and Serena. His voice carried a hint of concern. I paused. Serena? I know things between you and Serena are over, Mr. Liu sighed. But anyway, you should meet once, right? I didn't answer, just quietly listened. The meeting place was set at a cafe. Mr. Liu, sorry I'm late. I walked over and sat down. It's fine, I arrived early. I'm not bothering you, am I? Mr. Liu smiled, his voice a bit tired. Do you have any plans lately? He asked. I was silent for a moment. I don't have any special plans, just want to rest and relax for a while. And about Serena? Mr. Liu started to say more. It's in the past, sir, I replied calmly. She deserves someone better. I am not that person. Yes. Have you really let go? He asked suddenly, his eyes full of worry. I nodded slightly. Yes, I've let go. To me, that relationship has ended. Mr. Liu sighed. It seems you have made your decision. I stood up, preparing to leave. Mr. Liu, thank you for your concern. Watching my back as I left, Mr. Liu muttered, Serena, you will regret this for the rest of your life. Not long after returning home, my phone rang. It was a text from Vivian. Notification from your mini manager. Please pick up your adorable girlfriend at 12 p.m. Reward? 3 kisses from girlfriend, I laughed. Was this a reward for me or for her? Received, I replied quickly. What does my adorable girlfriend want to eat for lunch today? Vivian texted back immediately. Sweet and sour ribs, is that okay? Sure, I replied. Thanks for the hard work, hubby. Sweet and sour ribs were my specialty. Making them wasn't complicated either. I put on my coat and went to the supermarket to buy ribs. Right then, my phone rang again. It was Winston, my best friend of 6 years. Hey Winston, what's up? I answered. Vincent, are you free now? I have a favor to ask. Winston opened. I frowned. Winston came from a wealthy family, owning a boba tea brand with annual profits in the tens of billions. A true tycoon. He was the heir to the family business, and things had been smooth sailing for him lately. A famous young master like you needs my help? I laughed and asked. You know Dexter? Winston suddenly mentioned him. I nodded. Yeah, your childhood best friend. Last time you introduced him, he was working at a game company. I heard the game is launching soon? Exactly. The game is finished, but now they lack funds for marketing. He asked me, but my family won't give me more capital. So I wanted to ask if you could help? A game company? I had never invested in this sector. The gaming industry was always tough, especially when the internet giant Tenface often copied games to steal market share. That game is an anime genre, right? I asked. Yes. The game is quite good, the storyline is creative. If marketed well, it'll definitely be a hit, Winston added. I prepared $700 million for marketing. It's still not enough. If you help, the problem is solved. I considered it and decided to help. Around 3 p.m. today, bring Dexter to my house. I'll talk to him. This is also an opportunity. Investments always carry risks but also bring profits. With my capabilities, even if it failed, it wouldn't affect me much. Great. See you this afternoon, Winston said. Oh, I heard you and Vivian are dating? That was fast. Ah, long story. I'll tell you more this afternoon, I replied casually. Okay, see you later. Winston hung up. I went to the supermarket to buy some short ribs, the lean type perfect for sweet and sour ribs. Coming home, I prepared lunch. When I finished looking at the clock, it was already 11 a.m. I put the food in a thermal container, then drove to pick Vivian up. Arriving at the parking lot, I took a picture and sent it to her. I'm here. Thanks for the hard work, hubby. Love hubby the most. Vivian texted back instantly. I smiled, my heart welling up with sweetness. So this is what real romance feels like. Warm and happy. Vivian jumped into the car, shouting loudly, hubby. Today she was wearing an office blazer and black stockings, looking mature yet seductive. If her employees saw this, her image would completely collapse. Let them see, she replied quickly. What's wrong with calling my boyfriend hubby? She hummed. I reached out and pinched her nose lightly. Silly. The car was filled with a warm atmosphere. We chatted and joked, everything feeling so natural. Back home, I brought out the hot food. Vivian inhaled deeply. Smells so good. Whose boyfriend cooks this well? If you praise me like that, I'm afraid my tail will point straight to the sky, I laughed. Then you have to take me flying with you. Her voice was soft and playful. Seeing her so happy, I felt an indescribable satisfaction. While eating, she picked up a piece of rib for me. Hubby, you eat first. Silly, I smiled, eating the rib. Today Vivian ate with great relish. I watched her devour the food, the corners of my mouth unconsciously curving up, my heart full of happiness. After eating, Vivian let out a burp. So good. I stood up. You rest, I'll wash the dishes. No, let me. She grabbed the bowls and ran into the kitchen. I stood beside her, cleaning up together. My heart felt peaceful and happy. On the other side, Serena's mood was heavy. She threw a document on the desk. What, this contract? The other party raised the price by 10%. The subordinate bowed his head. CEO Ma said the previous price was a friendship discount because of his personal relationship with Director Vincent. Now, then go renegotiate. Keep the old price, Serena ordered coldly. Boss, I'm afraid it's difficult. I heard other companies are contacting them too. If we delay, we might lose this project. If it's difficult, find a way to solve it. Serena was sharp. Do I feed you people just to look pretty? Fix this in 3 days. The office atmosphere was tense. Serena frowned, realizing her emotions had changed a lot recently. She suddenly felt that since Vincent left, she had lost an anchor. Before, with him around, all her negative emotions were soothed. Right then, a knock on the door. Serena tried to compose herself. Come in. The old chairman from the villa reported the news. Today, the old chairman met with Vincent. He kept him back, asking him to return to your side. But he refused. The corners of Serena's mouth curled into a cold smile. Vincent, does he think he and Vivian can stay together forever? She coldly ordered. Keep a close watch on Vincent's movements. Wait for the Knight family to intervene and break them up. Then I will still have a chance. In the afternoon, back home, a knock on the door sounded. It must be Winston and Dexter. I opened the door to see an exhausted Dexter. Probably hadn't rested for days because of the game project. It's true that a single penny can stump a hero. Vincent, old Winston already told you. Dexter opened the conversation. Sorry to bother you at this time. If I had another way, I wouldn't ask you. It's fine, I do business too, as long as it's a good project. Bothersome or not doesn't matter. I smiled. Dexter's eyes showed a hint of confidence. He had spent 3 years investing nearly $1 billion to personally make this game. He was very confident that with good marketing, revenue wouldn't be low. I brought the game. Dexter opened his laptop. The game's visuals were beautiful. Even though it was a combat genre, the scenery was designed with great aesthetics. The characters were attractive, sure to draw anime fans. Combat effects were smooth. I played for 2 hours and it felt very solid. This project is quite good, I nodded. How many daily active users do you think this game can attract if marketed well? I project daily active users to be around 15 million, Dexter answered confidently. I frowned. You know the hottest game right now only has 5 million daily active users, right? I know, but I believe this game is a work of art. Dexter was a bit fanatical but full of confidence. How much capital do you need? I asked next. We currently need about 3 billion. Winston gave 700 million, so we are short 2.3 billion. If you invest, we are willing to give you 35% equity. Dexter looked at me, eyes full of hope. 2.3 billion for 35% equity. By market standards, if the game succeeds, this price isn't too high. But the game hasn't launched, results are unpredictable. 35% is a bit low, I pondered. I want 45% equity. Dexter was visibly tense. 45% equity meant I would have the largest controlling stake. I know what you're worried about, I smiled. Even with 45% equity, I can sign a contract taking only 45% of the dividends. Voting rights will be managed by you. To ensure my interests, I need veto power on the board. If you agree, I can increase the investment to 3 billion. I slid a contract forward. These are my conditions, think it over. Dexter was silent for a moment, then nodded. I agree, I was satisfied. Are you free tomorrow morning? We can sign the contract. No problem, Dexter replied. After finishing the business, we shifted to personal matters. How are things with you and Serena? Winston looked at me. He had known about Lucas for a long time and had advised me to let Serena go. But back then, she occupied too large a space in my heart. She was the one who pulled me out of hell. I couldn't bear to leave. It's over, I replied calmly. The 100 points I had for her have become 0. I gave her 100 chances. If she had said just one word, I wouldn't have left. But she did nothing. In the end, I decided to leave. So that's that. Just enjoying my new life. Winston smiled. But what about you and Vivian? He teased. She's my neighbor. We just naturally got together, I replied briefly. Haha, look at your face. So sweet right now. Winston laughed. I think Vivian suits you much better than Serena. I saw the public post you two made. The way she looks at you is full of love, Winston said. Compared to her, Serena never looked at you like that. I nodded silently. Yeah, she is your light, Winston continued, his voice certain. Trust me, eyes cannot fake it. Just looking at how Vivian treats you, I believe you two will be happy. I hope so. I looked out the window, my mind wandering to Vivian. She really is very adorable, and I believe being with her, I will be happy. Winston laughed and nodded. Definitely, hope to drink your wedding wine soon, he teased. I smiled back. Don't worry, when that time comes you'll definitely be my groomsman. Haha, then I have to see what kind of bridesmaid you find for me. Winston laughed loudly. Vivian will handle it perfectly, I joked. Right then my phone rang. It was Vivian. Hubby, my family wants to invite us over for dinner tonight. Her voice had a hint of nervousness. I froze. Dinner with the family? Isn't that meeting the parents? I texted back shortly. Okay. When Vivian saw the message, she immediately smiled radiantly and texted back excitedly. Hubby, I'll come home soon and we'll go together. Don't worry, my parents are very easygoing. They like you a lot too. If it doesn't work out, I'll just tell them I'm pregnant. Reading the text, I laughed out loud, both surprised and amused. Pregnant? Vivian really dared to say that. We hadn't even done anything. If she was pregnant, I'd become a guy wearing a green hat. Pregnant with sweet and sour ribs, she added in another text. I couldn't hold back and laughed out loud. She really is too adorable. Winston saw me laughing and asked curiously, "What's so funny?" "Going to dinner at the Knight family tonight," I replied, still smiling. "Meeting the parents?" Winston teased. "That's fast. If you tell me Vivian is pregnant in a few days, I wouldn't even be surprised." I looked up and joked back, "Then you better step it up. Don't let me surpass you." "Please don't torture this single dog." Winston laughed and shoved my shoulder. Seeing Winston and Dexter off, I sat on the sofa, letting my thoughts wander. The Knight family is a prestigious family in Mado, even in all of Tsuxiao. Currently, most of the Knight family's business is managed by Vivian. Under her hands, the family business had reformed drastically and developed tremendously. I opened my phone, looking at the chat history with Vivian, feeling a bit nervous. It's the first time visiting her house. Bringing gifts is necessary. I texted, "What kind of gift should I prepare?" A few seconds later, Vivian replied, "I've prepared everything. Don't worry. My parents said your presence is the best gift." Reading the text, I sighed in relief. Turns out she had handled everything. I was about to transfer money to her, but she texted immediately, "Silly, your money is my money. In the end, isn't it our money? Be good. I'm coming home, prepare a fragrant kiss for me." She attached a shy emoji. I smiled and texted back, "Okay." Time passed and soon the sound of the door opening echoed. Since living together, I had given Vivian a key for convenience. As soon as she entered, she rushed to hug me, wanting a kiss. She smiled radiantly. "French kiss, okay?" I glanced at the door. "The door isn't closed." "No, it's fine. This floor only has our 2 apartments." Saying that, she stood on her tiptoes to kiss me. A few minutes later, she whispered, "So comfortable." I smiled, finding it funny. "You wanted to kiss me since you were at the office, right?" She added softly. "I wish you knew how to teleport. The moment I want a kiss, you'd appear right away." I froze, then burst out laughing. "Am I that mesmerizing? Do you want to keep kissing tonight? Or else by the time we get to your house, my lips will look like sausages." I teased, and Vivian blushed, lowering her head shyly. "You really are a pervert." She winked, pretending to beg. "Give it to me, okay?" Looking at her adorable face, I nodded in agreement. Even though my heart was fluttering, we still had to go to the Knight family tonight. We quickly changed clothes. For my first official meeting, I wore a neat suit. "So handsome." Vivian looked at me, her eyes shining. "From now on, I won't let you go out anymore. What if someone likes you and steals you away?" I smiled and patted her head. "Don't worry, I am only yours. Who could steal me?" She smiled radiantly. "Anyone who dares to steal you, I'll drown them in the sea." Hearing that, I laughed. Finished preparing, we went downstairs. "What did you buy?" I asked. "My dad likes antiques, so I bought a few pieces. For my mom, I bought a designer bag, that's enough." Hearing her, I felt a bit helpless. Felt like I was a kept man. The Knight family villa is located in the suburbs, built in a traditional Jiangnan courtyard style, antique and elegant. The car stopped at the gate. A servant was already waiting. Mr. Vincent, please come in." Vivian nodded, handed the gifts to the servant, then wrapped her arm around mine and we walked in. At the same time, Serena received news. "Yes, miss. Our people reported that around 4 p.m. Mr. Vincent and Ms. Vivian returned to the Knight estate." Serena was stunned. "Going home? Is that meeting the parents?" Her voice trembled slightly, revealing a hint of panic. "Verify it again." "Yes, it is true, miss." The servant bowed his head, not knowing what to say. "Keep a close watch on them. When they come out, you must report to me immediately." Serena gritted her teeth, her anger and insecurity clear. A few minutes later, she asked again, "Have they come out yet?" "Miss, Mr. Vincent has not come out yet," the servant replied softly. Serena couldn't sit still anymore. She walked to the window, her eyes deep. What are they going to talk about tonight? Meanwhile, the dinner at the Knight family was coming to an end. Mr. Knight had drunk quite a bit and went to his room to rest. I lay in the guest room, still sober, but if I drank more, I'd definitely be drunk. I was about to put down my phone to rest when it rang. "Hubby, open the door." Vivian's voice came through. I froze. Vivian came here? Just returned to the Knight estate and she ran over here? I opened the door and saw her standing there, her cheeks flushed, avoiding my eyes, looking shy. Seeing me, she quickly slipped inside as if afraid some would see. "Not afraid of being seen?" I teased. She blushed and hit me lightly. "It's all your fault. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't do this." I smiled, looking at her outstretched hand, and gently picked her up bridal style, placing her on the bed. The scent of alcohol still lingered on me. Vivian nestled into my chest, whispering, "So happy. How happy, very happy, very, very happy." She smiled, burying her face in my chest. "From now on, it has to be like this every day." I spoke softly. She looked up, her eyes sparkling with sweetness. "Definitely." The atmosphere was sweet. I suddenly smiled wickedly, lowering my voice. "But don't you feel like doing this makes you look like a mistress?" Vivian froze, then her face turned as red as a ripe apple. She glared at me. "Pervert!" She pretended to be angry. "Don't worry. My husband isn't coming home. Today I am yours. Saying that, she herself felt embarrassed, her eyes full of shyness. She pushed me down, gently lying on top of me like a kitten nestling in my arms. I hugged her waist and whispered, I have something to tell you. What is it? She pressed her ear to my chest, listening to my heartbeat, her eyes lazy but satisfied. I plan to invest in a game company, signing the contract tomorrow. She looked up. That's good. Are you short on money? My private account still has over 100 billion. I raised an eyebrow. Truly a queen. I don't need money, I have enough. Just reporting to you because you are my wife now. The word wife made her eyes light up. She pulled my shirt, acting cute. Say it again. Say what? I deliberately teased. You know what? She pouted, her eyes flashing playfully. Wife, I obliged her. She smiled like a full moon, triumphantly kissing my cheek. You thought that was it? I pretended to be disappointed. I thought I'd get 2 kisses. Turns out it's only 1. She blushed and punched me lightly. Don't think dirty thoughts. The next morning, Vivian set an alarm and sneaked out before her family noticed. Before leaving, she kissed me for a few minutes, claiming it was an advance kiss for the whole day. After breakfast, I saw her off. She called her driver to pick her up, while I drove her multi-billion-dollar supercar back home. Sitting in the car, I felt it wasn't much different from my own car worth a few $100 million. The elevator doors opened. I was surprised to see Serena standing at my door. She hadn't slept all night. Her eyes had dark circles. She looked at me with cold eyes. You went to the Knight estate. Her voice was low. You're stalking me? I frowned. She didn't answer, just repeated. You went to the Knight estate. Is that important? I replied calmly. She froze. I had never used this tone with her before. Are you two getting married? She asked. Her voice trembled slightly. Hard to notice. Probably, I replied calmly. Serena's face went pale, as if she never thought I would marry someone else. How long are you going to throw this tantrum? She stared at me. I can make Lucas disappear. You will never see him again. If it were before, I might have been happy. But now, I didn't care at all. Serena, we are over, I said calmly. No, maybe we never even started. Her lips were white, trembling slightly. In her eyes, I was always the one who couldn't be public. Everything she gave Lucas used to be what I craved. But now I didn't need it. I turned to go inside. Serena suddenly spoke up. What I gave him, I can give you too. Just come back. Her voice carried a hint of begging. I stopped and turned my head. No need, we can't go back. My voice was still calm. From the day I decided to leave, everything was impossible. No one waits forever, Serena. I thank you for pulling me out of the abyss once. But over the years, my dedication to you is enough to repay that debt. From now on, we go our separate ways. She suddenly hugged me from behind. Come back. I will pretend the thing between you and Vivian never happened. I will fire Lucas, make our relationship public. Have a wedding, have kids. Just come back. I'll give you everything. I peeled her hands off. Sorry, I don't need it. Leave. Let our story have a period. I opened the door and walked in. Looking at the closing door, Serena smiled bitterly. Vincent, do you really think you can just leave me? You and Vivian will never get married. As Serena left, Dexter arrived. Director Vincent, here is the contract. Please review it. He handed me the document. I flipped through it, finding no issues, and put the contract on the table. Have you thought it through? If the game succeeds, almost half the profit is mine. Don't feel it's unfair. If you change your mind now, there's still time. I looked at him. Dexter shook his head, his voice firm. No, without your investment, this company and this game would have collapsed. You put in a lot of money. You deserve a lot of profit. If I didn't understand this principle, you wouldn't have invested. I nodded, signing the contract without hesitation. When the pen strokes were complete, the investment was officially effective. I will transfer the money to you this afternoon. I closed the contract, looking up at Dexter. When do you plan to start the marketing campaign? Tomorrow, Dexter smiled, his eyes full of confidence. That fast? Yes. The game is finished, we were just lacking the east wind. Now the east wind is here, we won't delay anymore. I nodded in satisfaction. I hope you bring back a performance sheet that meets my expectations. Dexter smiled and replied, I won't let you down. The two of us looked at each other and smiled. No need to say more. After signing, Dexter left. At the same time, Serena returned to her company. As she entered the office, Lucas hurriedly approached, his face full of flattery, about to say something. But Serena acted like she didn't see him. She pushed the door to the chairman's office and walked straight in. Lucas stood there awkwardly, then sat behind his desk. Serena was still thinking about what just happened. A strange fear rose in her heart. For the first time, she felt as if the most important thing in her life had left her, making her feel incredibly uncomfortable. Right then, a knock sounded. An employee walked in. Boss, we just received news. Yesterday, Mr. Vincent invested in a game company. Signed the contract this morning. The investment is nearly $2 billion. Serena frowned. Which game company? It's an anime game company. They finished developing the product, but because there's no precedent for anime game success domestically, no one dared to invest. Serena was silent, unconsciously tapping her fingers on the desk. Now she and Vincent had no intersection points. If she wanted to create a new connection, this could be an opportunity. Contact that company. Tell them I want to invest $1 billion. The employee was surprised. Boss, our company has never been involved in the gaming sector. This investment is because, Serena coldly interrupted. I said it's a personal investment. It has nothing to do with the company. Do as I say. The employee didn't dare to ask more, nodded and left. Watching his back disappear, Serena's eyes became deep. Vincent, you are mine, don't even think about escaping my grasp. Just out of the office, the employee was stopped by Lucas. What did the boss just say? He pretended to ask casually. Nothing, the boss decided to invest in a game company. A game company? Lucas frowned. That's strange. Director Vincent just invested, so the boss invested too. Probably trusting Director Vincent's vision. Lucas's face instantly darkened. Vincent invested, so Serena invested too? Does she still have feelings for him? Impossible. He spent so much effort to push Vincent away, and now he looks like a clown. Lucas gritted his teeth, his fists clenched white. Vincent, why is it still you? You already left. Why do you still threaten me? You deserve to die. Right then his phone rang. Brother Lucas, I invested like you said. This stock is going crazy today. Get ready to make money. Lucas looked at the screen, his mood easing a bit. The stock he invested in had surged unusually lately. If he sold in time, not only could he cover the $300 million he embezzled from the company, but he could also make a huge profit. Waiting for your good news, Lucas texted back, and at the same time I received a text from Vivian. Insider tip, that stock will crash on Friday afternoon. I wasn't surprised. No stock goes up forever, and its recent growth was clearly abnormal. It was definitely a pump and dump scheme to cut the leaks. Retail investors. The crash timing on Friday was also very cunning, because the market closes on weekends. Investors could only watch their money evaporate. Good thing you sold early, I texted back. Hubby is so smart, Vivian replied immediately. Oh my god, how is my hubby this smart? I laughed loudly. Stop praising me, Miss Knight. The emotional value you provide is enough, but talking about money, I'm far behind you. People casually pull out hundreds of billions while I'm just a small boss with a little money. So shy. Begging a sugar daddy to support me. She sent a wicked smile emoji. But the sugar daddy needs to give benefits. What benefits? I texted, laughing. A kiss? No, I want to see your abs. I raised an eyebrow. I still hit the gym regularly. I had abs but practical ones, not the showy bodybuilder type. Still, enough to attract women. This isn't good. What if you use my picture for bad things? I teased deliberately. No talent. She texted back instantly. Seeing it in person and touching it is better. Who wants to look at a picture? Her eager tone made me laugh. All right, I'm coming to pick you up. Right on time. I arrived at her office building. As soon as she got out of the car, Vivian rushed over, her hands playfully wandering all over me. I was helpless. Don't be in such a hurry. She looked up, glaring at me, her reasoning sound. No, I'm off work. I want to do whatever I want. This woman truly had no scruples. But this feeling wasn't bad. Receiving Serena's order, the employee immediately contacted Dexter. When he got the call, Dexter froze. A project no one cared about a few days ago, now people were rushing to bring money. Sorry, currently we have no intention of taking more investment. Dexter was polite but firm. The employee, unexpectedly rejected, tried to persuade. We are willing to invest $1 billion, only taking 5% equity, not interfering with operations. Management is completely yours. We only take dividends. Dexter frowned. This condition was too good to be true. He didn't understand why there was such a generous investor. But I understood perfectly. Serena didn't care if this $1 billion made a profit. She just wanted an opportunity to get close to me. If there are no issues, we can sign the contract today, the employee urged. Dexter pondered. Even though he had enough marketing funds, an extra $1 billion would help expand the scale for better results. After hesitating for a few seconds, he nodded. Okay, let's discuss the contract details. The signing was completed quickly. The employee returned to report to Serena. Boss, the other party agreed to the investment. The contract is ready. Yes, Serena replied faintly. The employee gathered his courage. Boss, you invested because of Director Vincent, right? The room was silent for a moment. Serena coldly looked outside. The employee hurriedly left. She didn't deny it. When the door closed, Serena leaned back in her chair, looking at the ceiling, whispering, if it wasn't for him, why would I invest in this company? Vincent, if only you were still by my side. When Dexter arrived at the company, Lucas was outside. He had heard the news that Serena invested $1 billion into this company with very low conditions. He instantly realized her target was Vincent. Lucas clenched his fists, his eyes dark. Serena had only given him a few million in total, but for Vincent she was willing to spend $1 billion. Why wasn't it him? In the meeting room, the contract was signed. The two sides officially partnered. The money will be transferred within an hour, Serena said calmly. Thank you, CEO Serena. Dexter nodded, then asked curiously. I don't quite understand. You are a major figure in the industry. Why spend so much money for such low conditions? Serena smiled coldly. I don't care about the company, and you guys don't care about this $1 billion. I want something else. Dexter suddenly remembered the recent rumors and understood. Vincent was the real reason. He felt a flash of admiration. Understood, but rest assured I am always responsible to my investors. How I treat Director Vincent is how I will treat you. Hope so, Serena replied faintly, hiding all her emotions. Seeing Dexter off, Serena clenched her fists, the corners of her mouth curling into a cold smile. Spread this news outside, she ordered her assistant. My people are mine forever. Want to steal them? Impossible. The news of Serena investing in the game company quickly spread through the business circle. Lucas heard it too. He suppressed it all day, finally bursting into Serena's office. Serena? Serena looked at him, feeling a surge of disgust. This man always acted weak, begging for pity. But Vincent never acted like that. Even when hurt or ignored, he just silently left, never lowering himself. She suddenly realized choosing Lucas was her biggest mistake. If you have something to say it, Serena said coldly. Lucas sniffled, his eyes red. Do you only remember Brother Vincent? She didn't answer, just looked at him, then suddenly asked, Lucas, what position do you think suits you best? Secretary, of course. He looked bewildered, not understanding her meaning. Serena smiled coldly. Your salary stays the same, but your job needs adjustment. Transfer to the logistics department. Dead silence. Logistics? Lucas felt like he was struck by lightning. Logistics was the lowest department, just buying office supplies, practically invisible. Moving there, he would completely lose the chance to approach Serena. Serena, please, don't send me to logistics, he begged, tears falling. Go, Serena was indifferent. Otherwise, I guarantee you won't survive in this company. Lucas froze. This was a threat. She had never spoken to him in this tone before. He turned pale, realizing he was completely abandoned. As Lucas packed his things, his colleagues in the secretary department gloated. He used to rely on Serena's favor to act arrogant. Now being exiled to logistics, he deserved it. But no one dared to show their joy, afraid he might return one day. Lucas knew clearly he had no chance to turn back. Holding his box, he glared viciously at Serena's office, gritting his teeth. Vincent, I won't let you off. At the same time, Serena's phone rang. It was Harper. She sat up straight and answered, Oh my God, what's going on? Are you declaring war on Vivian Knight? I will never leave Vincent to her, Serena said coldly, her voice full of determination. Harper sighed. Knowing this, why did you do that before? And Lucas, you put him in logistics? Yes, Serena was casual, as if swatting away a meaningless bug. Harper nodded. All right, Vincent probably knows about this by now. Yes, I knew. And the person who told me was Vivian. Hubby, boo-hoo. Her voice through the phone was whining, pretending to be pitiful. Your old boss is bullying me. I want a kiss from hubby, if not I'll be sad. She didn't care at all about Serena's provocative actions. She even seemed excited. I laughed out loud. Now you want a kiss? Yes, she smiled radiantly. Come to my company. A little hint. I'm free this afternoon. The company also has a restroom. I don't know if someone is willing to come. I raised an eyebrow. Why didn't you just call my name directly? So Mr. Vincent, are you willing to come? I laughed loudly. I'll be right there. This woman truly knows how to handle me. I hung up, shaking my head. Serena is crazy. 1 billion for 5% equity and no operational control. Does she think I'll come back? Some things, once done, cannot be undone. But right now I have no time to care about her. Vivian is the priority. Just as I was about to leave, my phone rang again. I thought it was Serena, but it was another friend. I teased. If I remember correctly, aren't you vacationing in the Maldives right now? Beautiful girls beside you aren't appealing enough, so you call me? Must be something important. The voice on the other end was lazy. I heard the proposal to merge Long County into Mado City passed. At the latest, it'll be announced next year. The 9,000 acres of land you have in Long County will definitely fetch a good price. You're about to be a billionaire. Happy? I froze, then burst out laughing. 3 years ago, I guessed Mado might merge Long County to establish a new development zone, so I bought over 9,000 acres of land in Long County at a cheap price. I opened a flower company as a cover, but was actually waiting for the opportunity. Back then, Long County's economy was backward. Land prices were unbelievably cheap. I spent less than $2 billion to own the whole thing. Many people thought I was crazy, spending almost $2 billion on worthless land. But even at worst, I wouldn't lose money. Just selling flowers brought in $80 million in profit each year. Is this for sure? I asked. For sure, he laughed. In a few days, many people will come to you to negotiate buying the land. You better think carefully about the selling price. It's unbelievable. His voice was a bit sour. Back then you asked me to buy with you and I laughed at you. Now I've lost out big time. I laughed out loud. Even if we went back 3 years, you still wouldn't have dared to buy. True. He felt helpless. All right, won't bother you. When you become a billionaire, remember to treat me to celebrate. Hanging up, I drove straight to Vivian's company. At the same time, the person following me reported to Serena. Her face instantly darkened. Vivian definitely knows I invested. Calling Vincent over now is probably to declare he belongs to her, nothing to do with me. She gritted her teeth, her voice as cold as ice, her hands gripping the edge of the desk. Keep following. Report any movement immediately. In the company restroom, Vivian sat on my lap, acting cute. Hubby, boo-hoo! She deliberately whined, her eyes seductive. I gently pinched her waist. Silly, missed me that much? She smiled triumphantly, hugging my neck. Your old boss is bullying me. Saying that, she leaned in, kissing the corner of my mouth lightly. Her eyes were gentle yet mischievous. Don't worry, I said softly. She and I are completely over. I know, she smiled, burying herself in my shoulder, hugging me tight. She greedily inhaled the scent on me, like a satisfied kitten. Sunlight shone through the window, sprinkling over us, warm and comfortable. Right then, Vivian's phone rang. She listened to a few sentences, her expression slightly changing. I got it. Hung up. She instantly returned to her cold demeanor, the authority of a female CEO. What's wrong? I asked. Just got news. The proposal to merge Long County into Mado passed the internal council. The official announcement will be made tomorrow night at the latest. I raised an eyebrow, smiling. But I remember your company doesn't do real estate. Right, she nodded. Just commenting. This development will probably create a lot of billionaires. Definitely, I looked at her, smiling. Like your hubby right here. She was surprised. What does it have to do with you? I casually explained. 3 years ago, I bought over 9,000 acres of land in Long County to grow flowers. Originally just wanted to do a small business. Who knew? She was stunned. You bought it 3 years ago? Yeah, just trying my luck. Vivian looked at me, her eyes complex. Your vision is truly sharp. I smiled and didn't answer. She exclaimed, you made a fortune this time, right? Probably around 350 billion. Something like that, I said calmly. She stared. Say it again. About 350 billion. She looked at me, then burst out laughing. Heh. Then from now on I can live off my husband. At the same time, Serena was still in her office. Her face was getting uglier. She declared war and Vivian called Vincent over immediately. Who knows what they are doing? Are they still not out? She asked the employee next to her coldly. The employee trembled. Yes, boss. Mr. Vincent hasn't left yet. Serena laughed coldly, her fingernails digging deep into her palms. Vivian Knight. I didn't expect you to play this hard. Let's see who wins in the end. While Serena's mood was near collapse, Vivian was happily nesting in my arms. She bit my neck lightly, occasionally kissing it, as if declaring her sovereignty over me. Your neck is covered in my saliva, I said helplessly. She blushed, huffing lightly. My saliva smells very nice. If you don't believe me, try it. Before I could answer, she pushed forward, pressing me onto the bed and leaning down to kiss me. Her lips were cool, soft, carrying a hint of invasion, as if wanting to leave her mark on me. The atmosphere was heating up. Suddenly my phone rang. I sighed, picking it up. It was an unknown number. Hello? A deep male voice rang out. Hello? Is this Mr. Vincent? I am Wang Jiaming, chairman of Giant Real Estate. I was a bit surprised. Giant Real Estate, a real estate behemoth with a market cap of 37.9 trillion, run by the richest man in the country. Why is he calling me personally? But I instantly guessed his purpose. CEO Wang, what can I do for you? Mr. Vincent, you must have heard the news about Motto merging with Long County. Giant Real Estate wants to invest in real estate in Long County. We hope to negotiate buying the land you currently hold. His meaning was clear. As long as I sell, price isn't an issue. CEO Wang is truly generous, I laughed. I wonder what price you are offering, Wang Jiaming pondered. Starting price 400 billion. He was confident. Giant has strong capital after signing full payment in 3 days. If you are not satisfied, we can meet to discuss details. 400 billion is not a small amount, but I know Giant Real Estate has been having cash flow problems recently. They want to buy this land to secure financing, consolidate market confidence, and even secure their financial safety for the next 5 years. I like efficiency in business, I said calmly. Full payment in 3 days must be clearly stated in the contract. Upon signing, you must pay 30 billion cash up front. If you don't have the full amount in 3 days, the contract is cancelled, and the 30 billion is mine. The other end was silent for a few seconds. Then Wang Jiaming laughed heartily. Deal, no problem. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in Motto. You choose the place, I will send the address later. See you then. I hung up. Vivian was curious. 400 billion? I nodded. She thought for a moment, her lips curving up. If it were me, I'd push the price to 520 billion. Why? I asked. She leaned on my shoulder, speaking unhurriedly. Giant has financial difficulties recently. They need this land not just for investment, but to stabilize market confidence. Your land is their trump card. Whatever price you ask, they will grit their teeth and agree. I was silent for a few seconds, then laughed. Miss Knight is truly a business genius. Of course, she looked up proudly. My husband cannot suffer a loss. She became serious. Tomorrow for the negotiation, let my company's legal team go with you. Sounds good, I smiled. She pinched my chin, smiling mischievously. Of course, I am your woman after all. On the other side, Serena also received the news. When she heard I bought Long County land cheaply 3 years ago and was about to sell it for a staggering price, she was stunned. How is his vision so sharp? She muttered. Harper, sitting opposite, shrugged. To be honest, Vincent is smarter than all of us. Serena downed the bitter wine. A few months ago, I was just an employee with $1 million salary in her company. She thought, leaving her I would achieve nothing. But now I not only turned the tables, but was about to step into the ranks of top-tier capitalists in Mado. If you knew this, why did you do all that? Harper sighed. That night, Vivian came home carrying 2 shopping bags, running over excitedly. Hubby, look what I bought. I looked down. 1 dinosaur pajama set, 1 rabbit pajama set. Are you making me wear this? I grimaced. Of course! She put her hands on her hips, not allowing argument. Hurry up and wear it, or I'll get mad. Unable to sway her, I put on the green dinosaur set. She wore the soft, weirdly adorable white rabbit set. She leaned against me. Hubby, take a picture and post it on your feed. Sure, I smiled. She held up her phone, leaning on me, and took a few pictures. Choose the cutest one and post it. I posted the same picture. My feed instantly blew up. Likes poured in, comments all saying we were a match made in heaven. At the same time, outside the apartment complex, Serena looked up at the familiar window. She knew in that room used to live her most intimate man. Now, warm light shone out, revealing the silhouette of a couple. Her phone buzzed. It was my post. She opened it and saw Vivian and me in couple pajamas, leaning against each other, smiling gently and happily. Her hands stiffened. Memories from years ago rushed back. The first year we were together, I used my first month's salary to buy couple items, excitedly wanting to use them with her, but she threw them straight into the trash. Don't bring this garbage home ever again, she said coldly. She used to think I would be with her forever. No matter how she treated me, I wouldn't leave. But now she realized the man who used to revolve only around her had left her world forever, never to return. The next morning I wore a neat suit, standing in front of the mirror adjusting my tie. How do I look? I turned to ask Vivian on the sofa. She looked up, surprise flashing in her eyes, then pretended to be calm. Too handsome. Good thing Wang Jiming is a man, otherwise I wouldn't be at peace. I laughed, walking over to pinch her cheek. Don't worry, even if it's a tycoon, I only love my wife. She blushed, pushing me away. Not married yet, not a wife yet, don't call me that randomly. Oh? You don't want to marry? I pretended to be shocked, teasing her. She huffed lightly, her eyes full of sweetness. You only know how to bully me. Knock on the door. Vivian opened it. Her legal team walked in. I had faced them on the business battlefield before. Now they are allies. Mr. Vincent. They nodded in greeting. I smiled, chatted a bit, then got down to business. We discussed negotiation strategies in detail, aiming for at least 520 billion. If it goes smoothly, we sign today, money in the account within 3 days. Our group went to the agreed commercial restaurant. The food here is average, but the space is suitable for negotiations. Rumor has it the boss behind it is very powerful. As soon as we sat down, Wang Jiming appeared. Mr. Vincent, I've admired you for a long time. CEO Wang, how are you? We shook hands. Wang Jiming's eyes swept over my legal team, a glint flashing in his eyes. He clearly understood that Vivian's team being here meant this negotiation wouldn't be easy. After some pleasantries, the negotiation began. Wang Jiming went straight to the point. Mr. Vincent, we are willing to pay 400 billion. I mentioned it on the phone yesterday. What do you think of this price? I leaned back in my chair, smiling. Our desired price is 600 billion. Wang Jiming froze, his eyes wavering slightly. This price, I'm afraid it's a bit high. Not high, I said calmly. Even though this land isn't in the center, it's close to Mado. The new development zone project is worth tens of trillions. Once started, this place will become the new economic center of Mado, attracting countless businesses. You aren't just buying land, you are buying future financial value. Wang Jiaming was silent for a few seconds, then laughed loudly. Mr. Vincent, your negotiation style is truly sharp.
You flatter me, CEO Wang. I looked at him. The formal negotiation began.
Wang Jiaming emphasized the land's location limits to force the price down. My legal team continuously brought out positive info, emphasizing the land's appreciation potential, pressing them step by step. After 2 hours of tug-of-war, we finally settled at 520 billion, full payment within 3 days. Wang Jiaming smiled, raising his glass. Mr. Vincent, a pleasure doing business with you. I clinked glasses with him and drank. The official agreement was complete. The contract was carefully checked by the legal team, ensuring clauses about money transfer and contract violations had no errors. The lawyer handed the contract to me and Wang Jiming. Please review. I scanned it quickly, confirming everything was fine, and signed. Wang Jiming also signed. 15 minutes later, the 30 billion deposit was in my account. Wang Jiaming shook my hand, smiling. The remaining amount will be transferred in full within 3 days. CEO Wang is very straightforward. Hope we have chances to cooperate in the future. Less than an hour after signing, the news had spread on the internet. Giant Real Estate spends 520 billion to acquire prime land in Mado's new development zone. Giant stock instantly skyrocketed. Market confidence recovered. Vivian saw the news and was amazed. They moved fast. I leaned on the sofa, casually saying, that's their way of surviving. To Giant, this land is more important than their lives. They have cash flow problems. They need this land to secure financing and stabilize market confidence. Otherwise, the whole group could collapse, and now they succeeded. At the same time, in the logistics department of Serena's company, employees were whispering, did you hear? Vincent sold a plot of land. I heard he got over 800 billion. I heard it was 1 trillion. Really? That's insane. The group chatted excitedly, full of admiration and jealousy. Lucas sat in the corner, his face pale green, fists clenched, palms sweaty. A few months ago, he thought he could replace me. I thought I would fail miserably after being kicked out. But now one transaction of mine brought in money he couldn't dream of in a lifetime. Lucas looked down at his phone, his eyes full of anxiety and insecurity. His entire fortune was poured into a crazy surging stock. If he won, he could turn things around. If he lost, his whole life was over. Meanwhile, on the capital market, a group of people in a luxurious villa raised their glasses to celebrate. It's time, let's begin. Late at night. Lucas sat on the sofa, his face gloomy. The doorbell rang. He rushed to open it. Brother Lucas, why do you look so tense? A friend walked in, looking suspicious. Lucas didn't answer, just signaled him to sit. I ask you, is there really no problem with that stock? He asked, his voice tense. The friend froze, then smiled. Relax. Brother Lucas, that stock is definitely fine. It's still going up today. The market still has crazy buyers. Just sit at home and count your money. Lucas exhaled, leaning back on the sofa. How much can we sell it for now? The friend thought. Probably around 200 million. Lucas pondered, then became serious. Then sell it right now. Sell now? The friend was stunned. Selling now only gets 200 million. What are you going to do with that? Buy a house, renovate it a bit, and it's all gone. Lucas was silent, his eyes firm. I'm not at ease. Sell it. 200 million is fine. At least we keep the money. The friend hesitated. Right now it's Friday night. The market is closed. No trading on weekends either. If you want to sell, you have to wait until Monday. Lucas froze, his mood heavier. Monday, then wait until we can sell it and sell it immediately. The next morning I woke up. Vivian was still sleeping soundly beside me. I didn't wake her. Quietly picked up my phone to check the news. Seeing the stock market notification, I smiled faintly, a bit surprised the stock crashed. It seems the manipulators made enough, but they were too hasty, not waiting for a higher price to cut the leaks. They didn't dare risk it anymore, but I don't care. I pulled my capital out long ago and made enough profit. This fluctuation doesn't affect me at all. At the same time, Lucas stood in front of the sofa, his eyes glued to his phone. The stock data made him run cold. His eyes were full of terror. His fingers kept hitting refresh, but no matter how many times he did, the stock price was still plummeting. Impossible, Lucas muttered, hurriedly calling his stockbroker. No one answered. How is this possible? His heart beat fast, almost suffocating. He called again, still no response. Lucas hurriedly put on his coat and rushed out. Arriving at the broker's house, he kicked the door open and stormed in. A scream echoed. 2 girls were in the room. Brother Lucas! The broker was lying in bed, looking bewildered, not understanding what happened. Seeing him casually lying there, Lucas exploded. He lunged forward, pinning him down and roaring, I'm asking you, what is going on? What is what, Brother Lucas? Calm down. The broker was panicked. The 2 girls quickly put on their clothes and sneaked away. My money, Lucas roared. Didn't you say there was no problem with this stock? What is this? He threw the phone in his face. The broker took the phone, feeling a bad premonition. He opened the stock page, glancing at the data. His face instantly changed color. How is this possible? He muttered, trying to comfort himself. Maybe it's a technical adjustment. But right after, he couldn't believe his own thought. The stock crashed too fast, not a normal adjustment. The downward trend continued. Clearly someone was deliberately manipulating it. He panicked, but still tried to justify. Brother Lucas, it must just be a technical adjustment. So many people bought this stock, if not 1 million, then hundreds of thousands. If something happens, there will be a huge reaction. They wouldn't dare do this. Lucas laughed coldly, his eyes looking like they wanted to breathe fire. You are truly naive. What is capital afraid to do? He stared at him, his eyes sharp. Explain, why did the stock drop 50% in one night? Now it's probably 20% lower than when I bought it, right? The broker was speechless, his face pale white. Brother Lucas, trust me, maybe it'll go back up later. You better pray it goes up, Lucas roared. Otherwise, think about how you're going to survive. He slapped the broker hard across the face, screaming, you bastard. The broker broke down begging. Brother Lucas, I also put over 30 million into it. That's my entire fortune. If I wanted to scam you, why would I invest so much? At the same time, at Serena's company, the weekly financial audit was taking place. Normally, these reports have no issues. Even if someone embezzles, the traces are erased. But today they found an anomaly. This is not good. Why is it missing 400 million? I also see this side missing 600 million. Finally summing it up, the company was short 3.2 billion. The news was quickly sent to Serena at the villa. Investigate. I want to know who is bold enough to do this. All clues finally pointed to Lucas. An hour later, Serena ordered to call the police. She hesitated for a moment, then picked up the phone to call. When Lucas saw her name on the screen, cold sweat poured out. He took a deep breath, trying to stay calm, and answered, Serena, where are you? Serena's voice was ice cold. Hearing her voice, Lucas's heart tightened. This was the tone she only used when extremely angry. I'm probably outside. Serena, is there something wrong? Come to my place. Villa. She hung up. Lucas felt like the sky was falling. He couldn't run away. With Serena's power, finding him was as easy as flipping her hand. If he ran, the consequences would be even more tragic. Helpless, he went to her villa. On the way, his mind was a tangled mess, not knowing what awaited him. At the same time, I received a message from an old colleague. Brother Vincent, hot news! Lucas took company money to invest in stocks. I think this guy is doomed. Reading the text, my face showed no expression. My heart felt strangely calm. Hearing this, I felt no ripples. The colleague didn't ask if I would return. Everyone knew I had left that circle. Not to mention I now possess hundreds of billions in assets. How could I go back? Thinking about Lucas embezzling money to buy stocks, I suddenly remembered the stock crash today. Is it that stock? I texted to ask. I think so. I don't know the details, but I heard the boss is very angry. Might send Lucas to jail. To jail? I smiled coldly. That is Serena's style, ruthless and decisive. How she treated me before, she treats Lucas now. Putting the phone away, I didn't think more about it. Old matters belong in the past. Now I only care when the remaining money will be transferred. And the marketing effectiveness of the game company I invested in. Vivian handed her phone to me. The game company you invested in is doing very well. Downloads have surpassed 1 million. I was surprised. Just 3 hours after launch and it hit 1 million downloads? Pretty good, I smiled. Seems my vision isn't bad, she teased. Your mouth is so sweet, let me taste it. I lay on the bed smiling. Want a taste? She froze, then smiled radiantly, her eyes excited. You said it. At the same time in the villa, Serena was not as relaxed. Lucas walked in and saw her sitting on the sofa, her face gloomy. Several people stood beside her. Serena, seeing her expression, his hands were already covered in sweat. What is the 2 billion about? She asked coldly. I remember I pay you 50,000 every month. Are you that short on money? Lucas went pale. He didn't expect her to know about this. I can explain? Serena laughed coldly. You still dare to explain? You've been in the company for a few months, know nothing about stocks. Do you really think money falls from the sky? Her eyes were icy, looking at him like a stupid pig. This is 3.2 billion, not 3,200. Even if I sold you, it wouldn't cover it. Serena, give me a chance. 3.2 billion is nothing to you. Please let me off. I swear I will act as a horse and cow for you. Please. Lucas knelt down, begging in agony. Looking at him, Serena's eyes were full of disgust. 3.2 billion is nothing to me. But it depends on who it's used for. For you, don't mention 3.2 billion. You aren't even worth 100 million. The words stabbed into Lucas's heart like a knife. If he wasn't worthy, who was? Your pathetic look is disgusting. I can't stand it, she continued, her voice as cold as ice. But it's fine. Think about what to say to the police. They will be here in half an hour. Barring any surprises, you will be arrested. Lucas was dead silent, knowing he had no way out. At that moment, anger flared up in his heart. He pulled a dagger from his pocket and lunged at Serena. Serena didn't expect this action. Her eyes showed a flash of panic. Until the blade pierced her body, the bodyguards finally reacted, rushing forward to subdue Lucas. Quick, call 120. Seeing Serena bleeding non-stop, the bodyguards panicked. The whole villa plunged into chaos. Serena clutched her wound, blood pouring out continuously. Her hands were already dyed red. The pain couldn't overpower the chaos in her heart. At this moment, Vincent's image appeared in her mind. She wondered, if she died, how would he react? Happy or sad? Remembering everything she and Vincent had been through, she never realized how important he was to her. Memories rushed back, especially the time she lost her mother. Only Vincent was like a light, leading her out of the darkness. But back then, she didn't realize she had developed feelings for him. Now Serena only hoped she had enough strength to stay conscious, but she lost too much blood. Her consciousness gradually blurred. Before closing her eyes, she seemed to see a group of people rushing in, including doctors. When Harper heard the news, she couldn't believe it. Arriving at the hospital, outside the emergency room was crowded with Serena's friends. Everyone was worried and anxious. How is Serena? Harper asked, her voice trembling. Still in emergency surgery, situation unknown, Chloe answered, her voice tense. Harper clenched her fists, comforting herself. No news is good news. At least Serena is still alive. Otherwise, the doctors would have announced it. Lucas, that bastard! I'm going to kill him! Harper was furious. This was the first time she was this angry. The emergency room doors opened. A doctor walked out. Everyone rushed forward. Doctor, how is the patient? Harper asked urgently. Luckily, the knife wasn't too sharp. It only hit the bone, not a fatal wound. The patient is awake, can be moved to the recovery room to rest. Everyone sighed in relief, as long as she is okay. Suddenly the doctor asked, Who is Vincent? Please follow me. Harper and the friends were stunned. Vincent? Why is the doctor mentioning him? Vincent is not here, Harper hesitated. Doctor, why are you looking for him? During the surgery, the patient kept calling Vincent's name. I think he is a family member or husband, needs to sign the admission papers. Which of you are family members of the patient? The doctor's words made the atmosphere heavy. Serena, even in a coma, still called Vincent's name. How could she love him that much? If she loved him, why did she hurt him? Everyone was silent, their hearts full of questions. The patient's family will be here in 10 minutes. Doctor, rest assured, we will contact him. Harper quickly stabilized the situation, signaling everyone to wait. She took out her phone, hesitated for a moment, then walked out to the stairwell and dialed the number. At this time, I was cooking in the kitchen. Vivian was wearing couple pajamas, sitting on the sofa watching a variety show, occasionally calling out sweetly, "Hubby." Seeing the call from Harper, I paused. Since cutting ties with Serena, I had left that circle. Why is she calling? I still answered. Hello, Miss Harper. Vincent. Serena was stabbed by Lucas. Can you come? Harper's voice was full of worry. I froze, then understood. Probably because of the embezzlement of a few tens of millions that led to a conflict. Lucas is truly a reckless fool. Probably afraid of being arrested, he acted extremely. I took a deep breath, calm. This matter has nothing to do with me. Miss Harper, you saw my post on social media. I have a new life. If I come, what do you expect my girlfriend to think? Harper was stunned. But even in a coma, she still called your name. Even just for old time's sake, you should come once. I shook my head, speaking faintly. Old time's sake? But when she did those things, did she think about our relationship? Did we have a relationship? Wasn't I just her tool? Enough, Miss Harper. I am cooking and cannot talk more. I don't like being morally kidnapped. Perhaps the last bit of kindness I have for Serena is wishing her a speedy recovery. Other than that, I don't want to do anything else. I hung up. Harper sighed, looking at her phone, feeling helpless. Chloe walked over. He refused to come, right? Harper was surprised, then helpless. Yes, makes sense he won't come. Chloe looked outside. Remember the first time he joined our gathering? Back then I knew Vincent looks gentle but has a very tough core. Once he decides, he won't change. Chloe continued. If it wasn't for Vivian Knight, I really would want to pursue him. He's charming, and most importantly, very loyal to his girlfriend. Right then, the emergency room doors opened. At the same time, the real estate company had transferred the remaining money. Looking at the balance in my account, I couldn't help but feel excited. I had a small dream for a long time, being with the person I love, having a house and having tens of billions in my hands, ideally hundreds of billions. Now it seems everything has become reality. Did they transfer the money? Vivian teased, looking at me. I smiled. How did you know? She pouted. Do you even have to ask? The joy is written all over your face. I bet besides the money hitting your account, nothing else makes you this happy. I raised an eyebrow, pretending to be serious. How can that be? I'm also happy because of something else. I turned, acting relaxed. Like being with you right now. Vivian blushed, her ears turning pink. Smooth talker. Even though she said that, her happy smile couldn't be hidden. So if you're that happy, why don't you hug me? She acted cute. I laughed out loud. Oh, so you want a hug? Don't be polite. I picked her up bridal style and walked straight to the sofa. I saw the game company you invested in is doing well. It even got on Weibo's hot search, she reminded me. I know, but I don't have the specific numbers yet. I'll ask tonight. At the same time, Serena woke up in the ICU. The anesthesia wore off. She clearly felt the pain from the wound. Looking outside, she saw her best friends, but the person she wanted to see the most wasn't there. She struggled to reach her hand out. Harper, wearing hospital protective gear, walked in. Serena, are you okay? I'm fine. Where is Lucas? Serena asked weakly. The secretary next to her quickly answered. He has been taken to the police station. Don't worry, I have arranged a lawyer. Assure you he will receive the heaviest punishment. Serena looked at Harper. Did Vincent not come? Harper didn't know how to answer, finally telling the truth. He didn't come. Maybe he doesn't know yet. Serena sighed, her eyes full of pain. No. By now the whole financial circle probably knows. You say he doesn't know. I don't believe it. Harper held her hand gently. All right, you just finished surgery. You need to rest. I'll handle the rest. Then let Lucas die in prison. Never let him out. Serena clenched her fists, her voice cold. Some people must pay the price for their actions. At the same time, I was on a video call with Dexter. Director Vincent, the back-end data is in. Dexter was excited. Today, game downloads reached 3.82 million. Among them, 2.82 million players played for over an hour. I nodded. This data is very impressive, especially for the first day of launch. The growth potential is still huge. Maybe after the marketing campaign, downloads could hit 10 million, or even more. Female players account for 72%, male 28%. How many people topped up? I asked. Today we had 740,000 people top up, totaling 123.6 million. Dexter was proud. At this rate, annual revenue could reach nearly 40 billion. For an anime game, this number is not low. Looks like partnering with you guys was the right decision. I smiled. Also thanks to you. Without your investment, we wouldn't have achieved this. Dexter was grateful. How is marketing preparation for tomorrow? Don't worry, everything is according to plan. We project tomorrow's downloads will exceed 6 million. Hanging up the video, I stood up, stretched, and walked to the window. Looking at the bright lights of Motto, I couldn't help but feel emotional. The first day I came here with Serena, I was like a tiny ant. Now I have achieved unimaginable success. Going into the study, Vivian was on the phone with her family. I sat beside her. She naturally placed her legs on my lap. For some reason, I felt the urge to tease her. I gently placed my hand on her leg, tickling the sole of her foot. She tried to hold back her laughter while continuing to talk on the phone. That game is doing very well. Even got on the hot search. Because of being tickled, her voice trembled slightly. He was already talented. Now he's about to surpass me. She hung up the phone and yelled, I'm going to risk my life with you. She lunged forward. I quickly blocked her, putting a finger to her lips. Vivian froze. Vincent, don't run! If I don't beat you to death, consider it lucky. She raised a sofa pillow, her face full of murderous intent. At the same time, in the ICU, Serena remembered the days I was hospitalized. Was I also this lonely and helpless? Only the cold sound of machines. She remembered the first time she met me. Even though my clothes were ragged, my eyes made her feel at peace. Thinking of this, she wondered, if we had gotten together back then, would things be different now? After her parents' incident, Serena always thought she wouldn't love anyone. But she loved me, and only realized it after we parted. She didn't just lose a capable assistant in work, but also lost the person who loved her deeply. Tears fell silently. There was no one here. She could freely express her emotions. At the same time, Harper and Chloe were discussing Lucas. Chloe was cold. Can't let him off. He must die. I think Serena has already decided. Right now, let's not bother her further. Harper felt helpless. And Vincent? Will he come back? One person asked. No, Chloe replied faintly. He is already with Vivian Knight. Even met her family. The next time we hear news about them, it'll probably be a wedding. Harper sighed. Serena has no chance anymore. That night, Vivian nestled in my arms. Next Tuesday evening, do you want to attend my company's gala? Besides my family, there are partners, many people you know. Sure, I smiled and nodded. In this circle, I understand what it means for her to bring me to a gala. Vivian beamed. Great, my dad also said he hopes we set an engagement date. I smirked. All right, future wife. The next morning, Serena woke up in the ICU. She had almost stayed awake all night. Only when dawn broke did she manage to sleep for an hour. A nurse pushed the door open. "Nurse, when can I go out?" Serena asked weakly, her voice urgent. "You are stable now. We'll continue monitoring today. If there are no issues, you can move to a regular room tomorrow." Serena endured the pain, forcing a smile. This was her last day in the ICU. Once in a regular room, things would be better. Harper walked in wearing protective gear. "Serena, how do you feel now? Is it better?" "Better. Not as painful as yesterday," Serena answered softly. "That's good." Harper nodded, then hesitated. "You don't need to worry about the company. Your uncle returned to manage it. Everything is basically stable." Serena didn't care about the company. She asked, "How is Vincent doing now?" Harper froze, replying, "I'm not sure. I don't contact him anymore." Serena smiled bitterly. "Harper, do you know? Every time you lie, you unconsciously touch your clothes." Harper sighed. "Those things aren't important. Right now you need to focus on recovering. Leave other things for later." Serena shook her head. "Tell me, did Vivian and Vincent do something?" Harper was helpless. "I just got news. Tomorrow morning at Vivian Knight's company gala, Vincent will appear." Serena's heart tightened. Vincent isn't an employee of Vivian's company, so what capacity is he attending in? "Is he planning to announce something at that party?" she whispered, her face showing indescribable pain. Looking at her, Harper wanted to say something, but didn't know how to open her mouth. "I want to meet Vincent once, before he goes to the gala," Serena said. Harper was stunned. "No, Serena, you know your body condition. If you get an infection or something happens, what do we do?" But Serena was resolute. "I must go. If I don't go, I'll never have a chance." The next morning, Serena moved to a regular room. "Serena, do you really want to go?" Her friends looked at each other worriedly, especially Harper. She knew tonight at the gala, Vivian and I would announce our engagement date. "Yes, I've decided." Serena nodded. Harper sighed. "Serena, I just got news. Tonight, besides attending the gala, Vincent will also announce his engagement date with Vivian. The Knight family has started preparing. They invited many leaders and insiders. You are a smart person. You must understand what the Knight family means by this. Going to find him won't change anything." Serena was shocked. They just met a few days ago and they are already getting engaged. "Yes. I heard a few major figures have confirmed attendance. If you go, even if successful, it's like slapping the Knight family in the face. Do you think they will let you and Vincent off? Moreover, 99% chance you won't be able to pull him back." Serena lay on the hospital bed, a bitter smile blooming. "No, I must go. No matter what, I must go." And at the same time, I read Vivian's text and frowned. "You've attended so many galas, even high-level banquets. Why are you still nervous?" She smiled. "Not nervous about the gala, but about the engagement. How do you think it'll be when we announce it?" I laughed loudly. "Probably a talented man and beautiful woman blinding everyone's eyes." Right then, the doorbell rang. Seeing Serena standing outside, I frowned, my voice cold. "What do you want? If there's nothing, I'm busy." "You're going to the gala, right?" Serena asked. I was surprised. Even lying in the hospital, she knew about this? "Yes," I nodded. "And announcing the engagement date," I replied shortly. "Right." Her face instantly changed, hands clenched, voice trembling. "You know, if you do this, there is no turning back. If the Knight family forces you, I can take action. With my power and influence, even the Knight family has to be wary." I shook my head. "Serena, you truly don't understand me. Agreeing to this means I am willing. No one is forcing me. Vivian and I are officially together. Announcing the engagement is natural. I hope you bless us. After all, our past wasn't bad, right?" "I can't do it," Serena screamed, her voice cracking. "Vincent, we've known each other for years. I don't believe a few days with Vivian can surpass our years together." She got more agitated, coughing violently. I looked at her, sighing. "Serena, like you said, over the years I was always the one who couldn't be public. But now I met the person I love, and can be public. Even though it's only been a few days, this joy far exceeds the years with you. If you still have any affection, please go back. I don't need your blessing. Just hope from now on we have nothing to do with each other." My voice softened. "For you, my blessing is to treat your illness well. Be healthy and happy for a lifetime." Serena was stunned, her eyes red. "Vincent, do you think I accept this blessing? I don't need blessings, I only need you." Right then, my phone rang. I glanced at Serena, stepping aside to answer. "Hubby, are you here yet?" Vivian's voice was sweet with a hint of whining. "Not yet, ran into a little trouble before leaving." "Then do you need me to send someone over?" "No need, I can handle it." I smiled. "Be good, I'm waiting for you." Hearing this, Serena's face looked like it crumbled. I hung up, looking at her, my voice firm. "I have things to do, Miss Harper. Take Miss Serena back." Saying that, I walked past her towards the elevator. Serena suddenly grabbed my hand. "Is there really no going back?" "Yes." I peeled her hand off, walking towards the elevator. "Serena, Vincent left. Let's go back." Harper sighed, her voice full of emotion. She looked at Serena, her eyes showing helplessness. Two people who used to be so close, now like strangers. Suddenly Serena collapsed, crying uncontrollably. Blood seeped from her wound. "Doctor!" Harper panicked and called out. Several doctors rushed over. "Miss Harper, the ambulance has equipment. We must treat the wound immediately." Harper nodded. "Okay, no need, I'm fine." Serena was weak but determined. "Are you crazy?" Harper screamed. "You'll die like this." She signaled the doctors to take her away. In the office, Vivian saw me and immediately rushed to hug me. "You're here." "Yes, handled some things, it's done now." I nodded. "How is gala preparation?" She smiled. "Don't worry. Everything is ready, just waiting for the time to go. My dad and a few elders will be there, but don't worry, they all like you. I smiled. I know. Even though my past isn't glorious, but now I'm rich. The game project I invested in is also successful. The Knight family supporting me is obvious. I don't like you, I smirked, teasing her. How do you like me? She laughed loudly. Narcissist, don't say that in front of them. She handed me the guest list for tonight. I skimmed it and smiled. All familiar faces. Vivian pouted. Heh, still have some time, want to go to the restroom for a bit? After resting in the room, it was time. We changed into our gala outfits. Vivian wore a long black evening gown. Beautiful but uncomfortable. Anyway, the gala is only 3 or 4 hours, she can endure it, as she said. The gala was held at a 5-star hotel in Motto, owned by Vivian's group, one of the most luxurious hotels in the world. We walked in and saw Mr. Knight. She immediately ran over. Dad! I also greeted him politely. Mr. Knight smiled radiantly. You're here. Tonight you two are the main characters. He looked at Vivian, his eyes full of pride. You've done very well lately. I heard you made a fortune. He turned to me, smiling and asking. All thanks to your blessing, I smirked. I don't have that much blessing. He smiled. Later on, handing Vivian to you, remember to take good care of her. Her temper is sometimes not good, you must be tolerant. I find Vivian very wonderful, she also helped and taught me a lot. We will progress together. Mr. Knight patted my shoulder, his eyes full of admiration. Hearing you say that, I'm at ease. An employee walked over. Sir, miss, most guests have arrived. Mr. Knight nodded. Let's go. I will introduce you to some partners. This introduction officially pulled me into the core layer of the Knight family. As soon as we entered the hall, all eyes focused on us. Many girls showed surprise. So handsome, but what a pity he's already taken. I heard tonight the Knight family will announce the engagement date for Vincent and Vivian. Such a handsome guy already has an owner. What a pity. What's a pity compared to those fresh meat boys? They are good looking, but how can they compare to Vincent's aura and depth? Just then, a man around 50 with graying hair walked over. I recognized him, a major shareholder in many internet companies. Even though he retreated behind the scenes, he is still a godfather in the tech industry. Vivian, long time no see, he smiled. Now I'm old, my health is poor. I handed the whole company to Vivian. Vivian, Vincent, call him Uncle Wang, Mr. Knight said. We stepped forward and politely greeted him. Uncle Wang. What a talented man and beautiful woman, he laughed loudly. Having a daughter and son-in-law like this, probably all the money in the future will be scooped up by the Knight family.
Uncle Wang, you flatter us.
We still have to learn a lot from the seniors, I replied. That's right, Uncle Wang. When you have free time, please teach us more, Vivian added. Even though these words were just pleasantries, they were still nice to hear. At the same time, in the hospital, Serena lay on the bed, her face pale from blood loss. Harper looked at her, her heart aching. Serena, why torture yourself like this? After returning, she didn't say anything, didn't eat anything, like a child throwing a tantrum. Harper looked at the clock. Barring any surprises, the gala had probably started. Even if Serena hurt herself, it was like killing 1,000 enemies and losing 800 of your own. Harper, put it down. I'm not in the mood to eat, Serena said. In her head right now were only images of me and Vivian together. Harper sighed. She didn't expect Serena's reaction to be this strong. Just as she was about to comfort her, the hospital room door opened. Harper turned and saw Mr. Liu. She quickly stood up. Uncle. Harper, thanks for your hard work. Mr. Liu looked at her, then at Serena on the bed. Understanding the situation, Harper said immediately, Uncle, please talk to Serena. I'll step out for a bit. She left the room, leaving Mr. Liu to sit on the chair. His eyes were deep. Met Vincent? Serena was cold. My business, Dad doesn't need to manage. Mr. Liu frowned, his voice softening. Strictly speaking, past events mean Dad has no right to say anything. But if you were in this much pain now, why did you do that back then? No matter what, the matter between Vincent and Vivian cannot be changed anymore. Since it can't be changed, you can only let go. Only when you let go can you live better. Serena was furious. So back then, did Dad let go of Mom's matter? Mr. Liu froze, his voice deep. Your mother's matter, Dad is very regretful, she interrupted coldly. Enough, I don't want to hear it. Dad, please go out. Mr. Liu sighed. Don't use mistakes to punish yourself. Let the past go. He left the room. At the same time, I was talking with a few friends in the investment circle. We knew each other. Even if not close, we were familiar faces. Mr. Vincent, what sector are you interested in recently? So we can avoid it, one person joked. I smiled. Recently, I have no special plans. Even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Another person spoke up. Mr. Vincent, do you have any intention of entering real estate? I am preparing to jump into this sector. If you want, we can partner. This person is about 30, the only son of a domestic retail tycoon. He once bought a foreign football club. Now his business is doing quite well. I was a bit surprised. Domestic real estate is currently booming, but many have acutely recognized signs of instability. Even heard about red line policies restricting it. Abandoning a stable career to jump into an industry about to bomb. Truly the action of a fool. Real estate, I have no intention yet. I shook my head calmly. Now I want to find asset-light projects or those with good prospects. If you guys have good projects, don't forget to invite me. Everyone laughed loudly. Halfway through the gala, Mr. Knight led me and Vivian to the stage. Thank you everyone for attending the gala tonight. You are all important friends of our group. Through ups and downs, we have overcome them together. Today I send my sincere thanks. Mr. Knight's words caused the whole hall to applaud enthusiastically. Today there is also an important matter, hoping everyone will be a witness. My daughter Vivian and Vincent will officially get engaged next month. Vivian blushed, while I smiled radiantly. After the announcement, the party continued. Vivian and I stood to the side. No turning back this time, she looked at me mischievously. Already announced the engagement. If you abandon me, I will become a laughingstock. I smiled. How could that be? Even if I abandoned anyone, I wouldn't abandon you. Are you still worried I might abandon you? She glared at me, smiling nicely. Then let's pinky swear. No one is allowed to abandon anyone. I nodded firmly. Two people pinky swore, the light shining on them, beautiful as a painting. Any plans for the next few days? I asked softly. Nothing special, she replied. Any ideas? I pondered. I want to go back to my hometown tomorrow to tell my parents about this. Even though many years have passed, my life is getting better and better. But I still often think of my parents. Vivian held my hand. I'll go with you. Tomorrow we'll go back. Her voice was gentle. Don't overthink. From now on, I am your family. Later we will have kids, they are also your family. As long as you have me, you will never be lonely. Feeling the warmth from her hand, my heart felt lighter. Let me see a picture of my mother-in-law, she teased mischievously. I froze, then nodded. I'll show you when we get home. When I left Serena, I brought pictures of my parents, only about 10 photos, but that is all I have left. Okay, Vivian smiled radiantly. Several company leaders walked over. Congratulations, CEO Vivian, Mr. Vincent. Wishing you 100 years of happiness. Thank you, Vivian smiled. These people are her trusted subordinates, helping the company develop more and more. Mr. Vincent, before we had some minor conflicts in a few projects. Now we are one family. Hope we progress together in the future, one person said. I smiled. Of course, we are one family now. Ending, we went home. Finally able to change clothes, Vivian sighed in relief. Evening gowns are beautiful, but not comfortable to wear at all. I nodded in sympathy. Suits are the same. After showering, we went to the bedroom. I took a box from the bookshelf. Here are pictures of my parents. Vivian sat beside me, nodding. Let me see. I opened the box. Inside were about 10 old photos. She looked stunned. She had hundreds of photos with her family, but I only had this much. Here is a picture from when I was a baby. I handed her one. She carefully held it, smiling. You look just like your mom. Eyes and eyebrows are very similar. In the photo, my mom was smiling gently. My dad stood next to her, the corners of his mouth slightly curved, very much like me now. When I was little, everyone said that. I handed her a second photo. This is when I was in middle school, the first time the whole family went traveling. At that time, I already looked almost like I do now. Lips pressed together, looking a bit awkward. But my heart was full of sweetness because I had my parents' love. No matter what, I will stay by your parents' son's side until the end of life, Vivian said softly. I nodded, handing her a third photo. This is when I participated in a competition and won an outdoor photography award. These scarce memories, I told Vivian everything. These things Serena never knew because she never gave me a chance to speak. Now she says she loves me. I only find it ridiculous. What right does she have to say those words? At the same time, in the hospital room, Serena's face was gloomy. That fast, she muttered, her voice full of disbelief. Harper said faintly, I heard the Knight family hired a professional team. The main parts are decided by the Knight family and Vincent. Details are handled by the team. 1 month, although rushed, is not impossible. Serena lowered her head, not answering. She didn't know what to say. And Lucas? How do you plan to handle him? Harper changed the subject. He's been arrested for days. I plan to resolve it thoroughly. Harper was surprised. Won't it be troublesome? Serena laughed coldly. Rest assured, this matter is easy. Harper didn't say more. On my side, Vivian and I decided to go back to my hometown tomorrow. Just a day trip, so no need to bring much. We had to wake up at 5 a.m. Late at night, even with the lights off, the moonlight was enough for us to faintly see each other's faces. Vivian and I looked at each other and smiled. Everything was understood without words. As adults, we let loose a bit. We didn't sleep until after 1 a.m. At 4 a.m., the car was already waiting downstairs. I cooked noodles. We ate simply. We still had 3 hours in the car to sleep, so no worries. In the car, seeing Vivian yawning constantly, I teased, Go to sleep. She smiled, placing her hand on my waist and pinching lightly. I inhaled, crying out in pain. It's all your fault, she whispered in my ear, then rested her head on my lap. I'm going to sleep. I gently patted her back until her breathing became steady. The last time I visited my hometown was last year. Visited my parents, then left immediately. That city is a place of sadness. If it wasn't for my parents, I probably would never return. Thinking of this, I also fell asleep. When I woke up, the car had left the highway. Vivian was awake, looking at her phone. You're awake? Is this where you grew up? She asked. I nodded. Yeah, different from Motto, right? She smiled. Every place has its own charm. We arrived at the cemetery in the suburbs. Back then, I used all my family's money to buy this place, wanting my parents to have a home after passing away. The sky today was gray. Every time I came here, I was always alone. But this time I had her. I took the prepared bouquet, holding Vivian's hand, walked in, stood before my parents' grave, looking at the picture on the tombstone. My heart felt strangely peaceful. After all these years, they are still the same. Mom, Dad, I came to visit you. I took a deep breath, speaking softly. Let me introduce you. This is Vivian, my girlfriend. Next month we will get engaged. My voice trembled slightly. Uncle, Auntie? Vivian looked at the tombstone, her eyes flashing with sadness. I am Vivian. Rest assured, I will take good care of Vincent. We'll be together forever. She held my hand tightly, her eyes firm and sincere. At the same time, at the Motto Hospital, Serena lay on the bed asking the person standing at the door, how is it? We just got news. Today Mr. Vincent went back to his hometown, probably to visit his parents. Serena was stunned. Visit his parents? Alone? No, Miss Vivian also went with him. This news made her heart clench. If I brought Vivian to my hometown, it means I am serious. She suddenly thought, if on the anniversary of my parents' death she had agreed with me, would everything be different? Looking at the gray sky outside the window, she whispered, I know. One more thing, boss. The employee didn't leave. Lucas once gave money to someone to buy stocks. We found that person. Do you want to do anything? Serena shook her head. No need. This matter has nothing to do with him. The employee hesitated. Following that person, when Vincent left, Lucas once thought if he didn't succeed, he would leave you or the company. I know. Serena was still emotionless. Go, keep monitoring them. I want to know every move they make. Yes, understood. Please rest assured. Saying that, the employee turned and left. Serena sighed, looking at the drizzling rain outside the window. Meeting the parents? Vincent, I should have agreed to you back then. Or we should have been together from that moment. She took her phone, quickly sending a text. Do one thing. Collect all videos and pictures of Vincent in the company. Send them to my phone. The employee received the order, his face full of surprise. But the boss's order must be obeyed. The whole company was bustling, getting to work. What's wrong with the boss? Why does she want videos of Vincent? An employee muttered. Who knows? But think about it. Does the boss like Vincent, so she wants these things? Otherwise it doesn't make sense. The boss clearly liked Lucas. Speaking of which, it's boring. Lucas really has problems. The boss doted on him so much. Yet he embezzled company money and even tried to kill the boss. Is his brain waterlogged? Enough. Stop talking. Do it quickly, otherwise we have to work overtime, one person urged. But Vincent is truly handsome. The camera is so blurry, but he still looks as cool as me. Don't flatter yourself. With Vincent's looks, he could enter showbiz. No wonder he won over Vivian Knight. Everyone worked while gossiping. At the same time, we left the cemetery. Where to now? Vivian turned to ask. Let's go back. I looked back at the cemetery one more time. The next time I return will probably be a few months from now. In the hospital, the employee handed Serena the edited video. Boss, this is the video the team worked overtime to finish. The rest will be done tomorrow. Please take a look. Serena nodded, holding the tablet. In the video, I was attending a party, but she couldn't remember what party it was. When is this from? She asked. If I'm not mistaken, it's the second year Mr. Vincent joined the company. At that time, we just completed a historic merger. It was his first time leading such a big project. Serena silently watched the screen, as if remembering something. So it was that party, she muttered. That project made everyone recognize my ability. Boss, you should rest a bit. The employee saw her getting emotional and asked softly. No need, I'm fine. Serena forced a smile. Yes. The employee didn't say more, standing by her side. What is he doing now? Serena asked softly. Mr. Vincent is probably on his way back, the employee replied understandingly. I know. Go out. I'll keep watching. When the other videos are done, bring them to me immediately. Yes, boss. The employee left the room. As the door closed, Serena sighed. Vincent, is it truly impossible anymore? On the car ride back, Vivian's phone rang. She answered, the voice on the other end tense. Boss, we discovered someone is following us, she frowned. Okay, find a way to handle it. Don't cause a big scene. She hung up. I turned to look. What's wrong? Someone is following us. I told them to handle it. Who is following? I was surprised. Even though Vivian and I had won many projects, it was all transparent. Our reputation in the industry was quite good. No clear enemies. Do you think it's Serena's people? Her image flashed in my mind. Even without evidence, intuition told me it was her. Turn down the highway exit ahead, she ordered the driver. The driver didn't ask, immediately following the order. At the same time, the tracking car behind saw us turn off the highway and panicked. What's wrong? Why did they get off the highway? But the order was to track, so they turned as well. Reaching a remote area, Vivian stopped the car. Before they could react, the tracking team found several other cars surrounding them. Over 10 men in suits stepped out. Get out! One man opened the car door, ordering coldly. The tracking team exchanged glances, knowing they had no choice, and got out. Who are you people? Vivian asked coldly. They looked at each other, lowering their heads in silence. She laughed coldly. Not talking? Want me to investigate myself? You know, if I investigate, it won't be this gentle. Her voice was calm but sharp. I looked at them. They looked familiar. You are Serena's people, right? They looked at each other, then nodded. Yes, it's CEO Serena. She just wanted to know what you are doing. No bad intentions. I felt exhausted. Already ended, yet still tracking. Let them go. Vivian looked disdainful. Go back and tell Serena I don't want this to happen a second time. Tell her not to peep at other people's boyfriends. It is truly despicable. They looked at each other, hurriedly getting into their car and leaving. Watching their car disappear, Vivian huffed lightly. Let's go. At the same time, Serena received a call. The voice on the other end was helpless. Boss, we were discovered. Her face instantly darkened. What did they say? They hesitated. They said, You stalking someone else's boyfriend is despicable and said this is the last time. If you do it again, they won't be polite. Serena clenched her phone, her face even uglier. Vivian Knight, you dare say that? Got it, she suddenly thought. How did they know they were her people? Was it Mr. Vincent who recognized us? They replied helplessly. Serena waved her hand. I know, go. Watching them leave, she sighed. Wanting to know my whereabouts from now on will be hard. This made her uncomfortable. Vivian Knight, you are truly a sly fox. On the car ride back to the city, Vivian looked at me gently. What are you thinking about? I sighed. I'm thinking, what does Serena want? I made it so clear. Why does she still? She smiled. What does she want? She wants you, obviously. Who told you to be so charming? She teased, her eyes sparkling mischievously. When we get home, I will torture you properly. I frowned. Then you better prepare yourself. Don't beg for mercy. We quickly entered the inner city of Mado. Not rush hour, roads were clear. Arriving home, Vivian asked, what do you want to eat? I'll order delivery. I thought for a moment. Anything is fine. Then let's order hot pot. This place is very good. I nodded. Okay. The hot pot was delivered quickly. One meal cost nearly 4 million, but just looking at it, it was worth it. Fresh ingredients, beautiful presentation, the taste definitely wouldn't be bad. This place is really good. Is it a chain? I took a bite and asked. She nodded. Why? Planning to invest? Thinking about it. Good food, newly established company. Probably needs capital. I'm considering it, she smiled. This place just got investment. They don't lack money. I think it belongs to Old Tran. I nodded. True to Old Tran's style, specializing in food industry investments. Right then my phone rang. Seeing the caller name, I frowned. Hello, CEO Trin. What's the matter? CEO Trin's voice was urgent. Mr. Vincent, please save us. I was surprised. What's wrong? Tell me. CEO Trin explained the company's situation. I was quite familiar with their situation. Back when I was at Serena's company, I was in charge of this project. How much funding are you short? I asked. 3 billion, I pondered. Not much. Are you free tomorrow? Let's meet to discuss details. Conditions remain the same, but I want to increase the dividend ratio by 5%. I am an investor. Putting in money must yield profit. Them contacting me at this time definitely means they have no better options. So I have to raise the conditions. The other end was silent, then replied, okay, I agree. Meet tomorrow. Bring the contract. If there are no issues, we sign immediately. Understood, I added. Then he hung up. Vivian was curious. What's wrong? Looking at you, do you want to enter the chemical industry? Why don't you invest in computers or other industries? Now you like chemicals? I replied, saying that isn't accurate. I don't like the chemical industry. I like this company. I investigated. For 3 years they poured money into research. Now it's the crucial stage, but funds have dried up. If no more money is poured in, all previous investments go down the drain. More importantly, their research contradicts many current chemical theories, so no one believes they will succeed. Therefore, no one invests. She frowned. So you know clearly, why still invest? Not afraid of losing money? I smiled. I want to try. I asked a few professors. They find this research strange. But having interacted with the company, I feel they might succeed. I don't lack money, so I'll try once. If I win, great. Even if I lose, I only lose my money. It doesn't affect anyone. She nodded, teasing. If it fails, your title of undefeated investor is gone. I smiled. Then I'll have to rely on my wife to support me. She laughed loudly. Okay, let me support you. In the hospital room, Harper frowned, looking at Serena. What are you planning to do? She shook her head. Everyone wants me to let go, but Harper, you understand me. Vincent is like half my life. If I let him go, I have nothing left. I can't accept it. I only want him. Harper was silent, sighing. Serena, you are the chairman, rational since childhood. I know you love him, but feelings cannot be forced. Sometimes destiny is very important. The order of appearance is not important. What's important is the right time, the right self, meeting the right person. Missing any of these 3 is a regret. Serena pondered, then asked, so what do you think we are missing? Harper froze, looking at her, not knowing how to answer. Is it because of me? Serena suddenly spoke up. You don't say it, but I understand too. It's all because of my stupidity. If it wasn't for those things, I don't believe Vivian Knight could steal Vincent from my hands, but I personally pushed him away. She repeatedly hit her head with her hands, as if wanting to vent her anger and dissatisfaction. Harper hurriedly rushed over, hugging her tight. Serena, don't be like this. Her voice was full of heartache. Suddenly Serena clenched her fists, shouting softly, Harper, what do I do? Looking at her expression, Harper knew she still hadn't given up. Do you know SCB Group? Serena asked suddenly. Harper nodded. She knew SCB well, the largest domestic online shopping platform, holding 90% market share, annual profit in the trillions. 5 years ago, Serena and I planned together, defeating Vivian's company by a narrow margin, taking 21% of SCB's shares and dividend rights. That is one of the 3 investment pillars of Serena's group.
What's wrong?
Harper frowned. Why mention SCB suddenly? Serena laughed coldly. I know Vivian really wants this company. If I transfer the 21% shares to her, will she be willing to let Vincent go? These shares bring 300 billion in dividends every year, almost half her company's revenue. Harper was shocked. If you do that, what about your company? Even with the other 2 pillars, their combined dividends are only about 350 billion, just slightly more than SCB. Serena, calm down, she advised. Even if she agrees, do you think Vincent will come back? If he doesn't come back, you lose everything. As long as Vivian isn't with Vincent, I am confident I can pull him back, Serena said, her voice full of confidence. Harper frowned. But I think you should consider carefully. Feelings aren't something you can get just by wanting. Especially, she was about to advise further, thinking this idea was too crazy. But Serena's eyes were firm. Anyway, I have to try. Harper understood she had made up her mind and couldn't be swayed. 300 billion in dividends is not a small number, but to Serena, it wouldn't affect her too much. Company revenue would drop from 800 billion to 500 billion a year, but if she could pull me back, she believed in 1 year she could make it back. The problem is, would I return? Serena took her phone and called Vivian. At this time, Vivian and I were whispering to each other. Her phone rang. Seeing Serena's name, she froze. She looked at me teasing, "Your old flame." I smiled bitterly. What does she want now? Who knows? She hesitated, then answered. CEO Serena, what's the occasion that you call me personally? CEO Vivian, no need to beat around the bush. Serena's voice was cold. About Vincent. Vivian raised an eyebrow. Didn't expect her to be so direct. CEO Serena, what business do you have with Vincent? He is my fiancé. You are just his old boss, right? Or do you want him to go back to work for you? Her voice was provocative. Although the Knight family isn't equal to your family, it's not to the point of letting my fiancé work for you for a few million. Serena heard the mockery. Her face changed slightly, but she shifted her tone. We both understand clearly. No need to be coy. I have 21% of SCB shares. If you cancel the engagement and break up with Vincent, the shares are yours. You know the value it brings to your company and family is how huge. Vivian didn't expect her to play this big. SCB brings 300 billion in dividends every year, the whole industry knows. She is willing to give it up just to exchange for my breakup. Truly generous. But she only smiled coldly. 300 billion is indeed a lot, but to me it's not that attractive. CEO Serena, you are too confident. Even if I break up, do you think he will go back to you? Don't joke, he and I are very happy right now. I like being with him. I do not agree. As for the SCB shares, you keep them. Who knows, later you might need them to sugar daddy some guy. Serena felt humiliated. Have you thought it through? Yes. I am with my husband right now. Calling like this, we can't be intimate. If there's nothing else, we are hanging up. Or do you want to hear us being affectionate? CEO Serena, you don't have such weird hobbies, do you? Serena hung up immediately. Vivian huffed lightly. Boring. She turned, pretending to be wronged. Hubby! Boo-hoo! I just lost 300 billion. It breaks my heart. I burst out laughing. So what do you want? She leaned close, acting cute. Heh, the day of the engagement you wore a white shirt, right? Wear it again for me to see. I want to look. Why suddenly want me to wear that? At the gala, because it was hot, I took off my jacket. I didn't expect her to remember. Just a shirt, is it necessary? Heh, I want to look, she smiled mischievously, hugging my neck. Your wife rejected 300 billion for you. Reward me a little bit, please. She acted pitiful, her voice pleading. If not, I will cry for you to see. Looking at her, I laughed loudly. This woman is truly a demon. Just acting strong, now acting like a child. Okay, I'll indulge you. I nodded. In the hospital room, Harper looked helplessly at Serena. I said Vivian wouldn't agree. Doing this. Serena's face was gloomy. Right then her phone rang. She picked it up, seeing a text from Vivian. Just a photo. In the photo, a man wearing a white shirt. Even without showing the face, she knew it was definitely me. Accompanied by a message. I didn't let you listen live, but I'll let you take a peek. Thank you for the gift. My fiancé is very happy. If you need it, I can introduce a male model to you. Serena couldn't hold back and threw the phone on the ground. It shattered. Harper sighed. Serena, don't be angry. You being like this, isn't it exactly what Vivian wants? Getting angry means falling into her trap. On the other side, Vivian looked at her phone, the corners of her mouth curling up triumphantly. Dare to humiliate me. Let's see who hurts more. She looked up at me. Tomorrow you're investing in that company? I nodded. This company is worth trying. If successful, besides annual dividends, it ensures long-term prosperity. Their technology is very advanced. With these patents, for the next 150 years, domestic and foreign competitors will have a hard time surpassing them. She nodded. It's not that much money, just invest. If needed, I will chip in too. In the hospital room, Serena could only smile bitterly. Vivian rejected the 300 billion offer. She knew perhaps she had lost the most important thing. Vincent, I was wrong. Truly, I was too stupid. Tears fell silently. Perhaps there was no way for her to hold on to that young man anymore. The next morning I woke up seeing Vivian still sleeping soundly. I grabbed my bathrobe, went to the living room to wash up, then started cooking. When the noodles were almost done, I went into the room to call her. Wife, wake up, eat breakfast, and go to work. She groggily opened her eyes, pulling me into her arms, whining. Hubby, today I don't want to go to work. I smiled, teasing. Oh, not afraid company employees will gossip? She shook her head. Don't care. Let them talk. They don't know how amazing my hubby is anyway. I smiled, hugging her tight. Life was truly beautiful. I held Vivian tightly, savoring our sweet and simple happiness. Meanwhile, in her cold hospital room, Serena could only shed tears of belated regret. Finally, the dark days of my past had vanished forever.